One, two, three. Hello, are we in? There we are, chat. Welcome in. Testing one, two, three. We are live. Another Friday night. Night 2 of the Sweet 16. March Madness continues on. And of course, we've got some high stakes action tonight. Not just the Sweet 16 as normal, chat, but we do also have the team of the day playing as well, too. The Michigan Wolverines taking on Auburn in a little bit, chat. So make no mistake, we're in just one of those moods that we're not having it today, chat. If Michigan is going to lose tonight, then we're going to be in and out. It's just what it is. We're not going to stick around and watch Michigan just get taken down by Auburn later. Pause. But, you know, I got to admit, chat, just to be honest, right off the top, I hate to start this off on a note like this, chat, but just one of those days, busy day at the restaurant. We're going to order the lunch special to take home with us to eat afterwards, and I guess we just didn't send it through on the computer or something because they just didn't have it in the back. So we were like, oh, well, that's unfortunate. I guess no Big Fern burger for us. Big Fern burger? I don't even know what it was called, chat. Maybe that was the problem with entering it into the computer, but we'll see if it's around there the next time we're in. It didn't look good as well, too. So, you know, one, food would be nice, but the Big Vern burger was looking pretty delicious anyways with the people that we were seeing get it. So just there's just going to be thoughts of the Big Vern burger running through our head. Hey, yo, chat. Hey, yo. But just the menu item, the Big Vern burger, there's going to be thoughts of it just running through our head. Flashbacks to, you know, the Poke Bowl potentially that are going to be happening throughout this event. So again, if Michigan's going to lose, just get it over with quick, chat. Don't draw it out to the end of the game. And I guess, you know, drama would be nice. Hope would be nice. But just get it over with. We can go over halftime, be done, and then I'm already looking forward to the end, Jeff. We can get some dinner afterwards. But stay tuned. If you guys are jumping in, I mean, maybe we just get some DoorDash a little bit later. Really kick back and relax. Because, I mean, make no mistake, chat. That's what's going to be happening. Hopefully you guys are doing the same. Kicking back and relaxing with a little food, maybe? With a little food. Chat, let us know. DM us on REMINGTOM on Instagram. What is your snack of choice, your March Madness snack of choice, your game day and snack? I mean, that can vary, chat. Please just DM us any snacks. I mean, of course you can go standard snack, but I mean a chicken wing, that counts as a snack for a football game. Just game day food, you know, because again, it can range from meals to snacks to finger foods to whatever. I don't, you know, however you want to classify your game day menu, chat. DM us on REMINGTOM on Instagram. What do you guys do? Again, it can be a spread for a group. It can be a personal one, you know, solo, just kick back, having a night type spread. Is it even a type of food, or is it, oh man, we're getting in the weeds now, you know, is it just, you know, are we going to whatever's the leftovers, gravitating that way? You know, just however, whatever the game day food routine is, chat. I guess if you're leftovers, people in general, yikes! But the show goes on. We must continue. Michigan versus Auburn. We must be ready to see what happens later in this game. Janai Broom, Dusty May, Trey Donaldson. It's going to be a fun one. But not only are we nervous about the potential Michigan, it seems like we're also the good luck charm for Michigan State, chat. It's just what it is. I hate that that's the case, but we turned on the game when we got back, and immediately they just start making a comeback. They were down 10, and now they managed to close the distance to 2, 5 for 12 from 3. I guess, you know, you look at the overall numbers from three-pointer, it's not that much more dramatic. 5 for 12, 4 for 14. The percentages would read a little bit more dramatic than that, but a couple more free throws as well, too. And Richardson, let's see here, chat. Our guy, Jace Richardson, 10 points, 3 for 4 from 3 in this game, 2 rebounds. And there was a play as well, too, a couple of plays ago where there was like a tip out off a missed free throw, chat. And it's like, oh, is everything just going to go Michigan State's way? It is what it is. But Carr as well, too, giving him 9 points off the bench. Akins with 5. And Richardson, I mean, it hasn't been just as well, too, the tournament. It's been the last part of the season. It's been the Big Ten tournament as well, too, just having clutch performances and big games. I mean, overall in the season, chat, that's some solid efficiency. Hey, yo, but 49% from the field, 40% from 3, and 84% from the free throw line, 12 points a game in 25 minutes. So, I mean, Michigan State's been, I mean, if there's been a guy on the team with name value star power, of course, it's been Jace Richardson. I don't know if they have like a guy that needs to be a defined best player for them to be winning games, but again, he's sort of the guy that has emerged as their star, and it's their clutch bucket getter for him. But that's just good playing shot. I mean, we were looking at Sion James the other night against Arizona, and look at his stats. He's been in that efficient sort of wing scorer combo guy type of role. But per 40, he can be like a 20-point a game scorer in a way. Maybe a obviously fun potential there with whatever he develops into. Chat 20 on the PER is not bad. Of course, the efficiency is going to make some of the advanced stats look pretty nice. But yeah, we were going to go to the game logs here. Getting sidetracked. With the 40% three-point shooting, chat. Not great in the round of 32. 1 for 10. But yeah, against Brian, I guess, 15 points. And then the run he had been on before that, chat, before they had lost to Wisconsin. So they lost to Indiana by 4 points. And then they lose to Wisconsin in the conference tournament as well, too. But again, he plays well in that game and is able to get to the free throw line. 7 for 7. I mean, he's just been getting to the free throw line in general as well, too. This stretch, 5 free throw attempts a game. So 11 games, 9-2 in that stretch, 17 a game. And we mentioned his shooting splits earlier, chat, but 50, 40, 80, I guess, for his splits in the last 11 games. Not including the 2 tournament games. The last 11 Big Ten games, you throw the tournament games in there. Still efficient, still great numbers, obviously, but 1 for 10 is going to bring it down a little bit. Not going to be 50% from the field, probably, with the 1 for 10 performance. And I mean, not only a powerhouse, matchup later of Michigan-Auburn just on the basketball court, but off the court, just a powerhouse basketball media matchup, chat. Charles Barkley versus the REMINGTOM pod. I mean, it's really high-level stuff, chat. It is what it is. I don't know if Charles Barkley has... I mean, chat, do we need to look up what he said at all? Has he said anything about the REMINGTOM pod going up against Michigan? Who knows? IT, give it a good. But, yeah, with as much as, of course, we love and respect Charles Barkley, he is the enemy tonight, people. Charles Barkley is the enemy. I was going to say, if we passed him in the street, I guess we would still be respectful and probably say what's up and try to get a picture. And is Charles Barkley is in get a picture territory. That's not a question, chat. I'm not necessarily a guy that feels like he needs to get a picture with that. I mean, just meeting people is cool, right? I mean, I don't necessarily look at pictures. I can be honest. Like, I take a picture. I'm not going to probably go back and look at it. It is what it is. It's going to get lost in the camera roll. So I'll just go ahead and save us the interaction and just say hi, big fan, nice to meet you, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. A little blah, 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 yada, 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 and just, in and out chat pause. Is the best way to handle the interaction. Because, again, you'll remember, and one of this is like, the nerdy stuff. Again, you read on when you're trying to take a picture for Instagram, but then you get on Instagram, you start looking, and then you see a post that says you don't even, you remember a moment less if you take a picture of it. You remember, taking a picture versus the moment, or do you, remember that you got your picture taken versus just meeting a person and just having interaction? But make no mistake, Charles Barkley rules out the window, chat. Pictures are firing up. That's definite. I mean, obviously, post-worthy as well, too, but I mean, that's got to be one for the files. You meet Sir, I mean, he's a Sir, right? Sir Charles. So anytime you meet royalty, chat, you definitely got. But today would be a different day. Today would be a different day. We saw Charles Barkley. I guess we said we would try to get it, but we would be respectful. I guess he'd luck out, chat. No picture today. Be like, thankfully, these Michigan fans, they don't want pictures. They don't want to talk to me. I can actually walk through Michigan and nobody's. But then it's the other way. It's like, Chuck, screw Auburn. We're gonna beat Auburn. Hopefully, Auburn is ready for an upset. Auburn, Janai Broom, have they been tested by a Big Ten team yet? Have they played the Big Ten champ yet, chat? Is that true? Big Ten champ versus Auburn got bounced in the SEC tournament, right? Unfortunately, Auburn, I don't think has... Yeah, SEC regular season champ. And I know, again, they won the tournament last year as well. They didn't win the regular season, so... They have made a tournament run. I guess that's probably why we, fell in love with the Auburn basketball team the way that we did, chat. And that's just another reason why tonight is frustrating as well, too. Because it just happens every year. It's just the bad luck of the draw, I guess, with these tournament fields. Once again, a guy, probably the player that outside of Michigan we'd be most happy that he won a national title. It's like Janai Broom. We've loved Janai Broom the last couple of years in college basketball. It's, his success. We've actually, again, that makes us happy, Chad. If he was making a run in the tournament, that's actually something we could root for outside of the Michigan Wolverines. And then what do you know? You get in the bracket. Auburn's the 1 seed in their quadrant. Michigan's the 4 seed. It's like, wow, come on. Just they're on a collision course. they're going to meet. So we're happy Michigan's winning. We're happy Auburn's winning. But tonight is just the inevitable matchup of Michigan facing a team. I mean, let's just go back here and look at the years. I feel like every year they get eliminated by some team that we're rooting for. And some team that we really, I guess, last year making the tournament. Not making the tournament the last couple of years, I guess, spared us that. Villanova, I guess that tournament run, the number 2 seed. We were not, was this like the Colin Gillespie team? I guess we weren't like super fans of this team as well. Jermaine Samuels, Caleb Daniels, Justin Moore, chat. But that Villanova team that got us in the national championship. I love that Villanova team as well, too. Who didn't love that Villanova team, chat? And DiVincenzo was literally probably my favorite college basketball player outside of any. I mean, did we have a pod back then, chat? I don't think we did. But if there was tapes available, if there's like leaked iPhone recordings of what I was thinking of Michigan basketball back at that time, I would have been saying like DiVincenzo is the awesome player, and then after the national championship, you would not have been hearing that as much, just what it is. But yeah, this 11 seed UCLA team in Michigan as the 1 seed in that bracket was a really Dickinson, the Franz Wagner Livers team, was a really good team. It's not, I don't think, a team that was a lock to win like the national title again, even if they had ascended to the place that they did in the poll. But yeah, Juzang, Jules Bernard, chat, of course, Jaquez, Tiger Campbell, literally from the home state. People still talk about the type of Tiger Campbell run. Cody Riley is a fun forward and a fun Rico Hines guy. Shout out to the Rico Hines run. So again, just checking a lot of boxes for reasons we'd want to root for this team. Really in on the Juzang run as a star player that you can rely on. But what happens? They take down Michigan, and then they just immediately lose that next game to Gonzaga as well, too. It's like, well, we still kind of like this UCLA team, and then nope. They lose. Didn't make no tournament, I guess, in 1920 because of COVID that year. Texas Tech, I guess, was not a team that we were like high on the watch list rankings. Shout out Texas Tech, though. Yeah, lost the title to Villanova. Tough. DiVincenzo. Definitely a first team all Bremen Sam heartbreak team. Oregon, again, another classic team. Dylan Brooks, chat. The college, this Oregon Dylan Brooks college team for some reason. Tyler Dorsey, Jordan Bell, Chris Boucher. This was just a fun team that we love to watch. Peyton Pritchard. A freshman Peyton Pritchard on this team. But there was something about, again, as like it was just, this was still in the era where, again, now Dylan Brooks has been an NBA player and been like a good NBA player for a while now, where he sort of established himself in a different sphere, but he was still on the rise as a basketball talent. And I'd have to go back and watch some of the college stuff. I don't remember if he was he was definitely like an emotional, passionate player for sure, but I don't know if he was as leaned into, because again, this is his role now as like the enforcer, defender, tough guy, the hockey guy that you're going to bring in to like fight the other team's opponent. But yeah, he was 11 points a game that freshman year, and then 3rd-team All-American, 2nd-team All-American back-to-back years. Good 3-point shooter that year, and guys with like a funny, not always a funny 3-point form, I guess, but times there are certain like funky 3-point forms that you can like as well too. Not that I would have like copied a Dylan Brooks 3-point form, but just something about it. You're like, I don't know, it might be able to work in the NBA. It works to varying levels of consistency, but again, this is still like in the conversation of, is Dylan Brooks like is he a 1st-round pick in the NBA? What levels is Dylan Brooks going to rise to? And it's like, yeah, this guy's going to be a solid NBA player and definitely going to have some kind of future in the league. So again, now it's a different conversation of like, is Dylan Brooks a fun NBA player? But for what he's turned into, it's definitely been a win. Again, being like unranked as a high school guy, I mean, what a rise for Dylan Brooks. Shout out. Notre Dame, I'm trying to remember, I think maybe this was a bummer because we didn't like this Notre Dame team. I think in typical Notre Dame team fashion, you don't find us falling in love with a lot of Notre Dame teams. But this one was fun. Yeah, the VJ Beecham was fun. Zach Augustine, Demetrius Jackson. Bonzi Wells, 11-6. I don't think this was like the best Bonzi Wells stats season. Did he have like an All-American season in there? All ACC. Made all conference one year. Yeah, 17-10, and then 19-10. His junior and senior year. His third team All-American. I guess his junior year. But him with that collection of guys was the best. You know, again, not like the best version of Bonzie Colson, but the best version of all. Because you got Augustine was a senior that year as well too, so they lost him in the center as like a big piece for the team that was making runs with Mike Bray there for those couple of years. Because they almost, with Jerry and Grant, you know, were like a feisty, can they take down Kentucky that one-year team? And then I think, you know, basically played them all the way to the wire. I think, did Jerry and Grant have a chance to win at the end? Was there like a mislook? I forget. I remember having to listen to the end of that game because I think I ran out of the free preview on whatever the app was back then at that time. I was like, okay, we're going to have to we saved the free preview for the right moment and just burn in the right game. I was like, okay, we're going to get to see the Kentucky team lose and then listen to the rest of it on the end. But then Notre Dame didn't make it in 14-15. And then, yeah, Kentucky, I guess we weren't, like, super. And then we start getting into this team was good and, like, actually, like, a real powerhouse team from year to year. We didn't have to have mistress teams, chat, back then. Michigan was actually a team that could have potentially won the national title. So, again, just another year the mistress team has run into the real team, chat. And anytime that happens, just feelings get complicated. And the Auburn-Michigan game is just going to be a lot of emotions later on. It's just what it is. Janai Broome, hopefully he puts up 30 and 10. Michigan advances. You know, we walk away. Everybody's fine. Everybody, you know, that's, it's tough to say what the best case scenario is, again, Michigan wins, Janai Broome plays well. But for what Auburn's expectation were, I guess there is a version where Michigan plays awesome and then we just go, hey, Michigan's a really good team. You know, again, they won the Big Ten tournament. It's a unique matchup team to play against, like we talked about with Danny Wolf and with the front line, especially with the fact that Auburn is, again, centered in that front line. So if Janai Broome has 30 and 10, like, are they going to lose? Probably not. But if we can still walk away with, like, yeah, Janai Broome again is like Dylan Brooks storylines. He can be an NBA player. Give him some first round hype. We're not necessarily disappointed in Auburn, but Michigan wins and it's just success all the way around for everybody somehow, then, you know, we'll definitely take that best case scenario. But Michigan State driving to the basket right away, chat, to open the half. Offensive rebound, tying it up. So, yeah, I don't know what's the score, the run that Michigan State's been on since we've turned this game on the TV. It's not great, chat. It's not great. Ole Miss seniors, 27 points. Rest of the team, 6. So I don't know if we need a grade breakdown if just like most of the team is seniors anyways. But, hey, the experience carrying Ole Miss, not necessarily a bad thing. So, great drive and slam by the Ole Miss, the lob to the Ole Miss center. Seems like maybe the interior presence there might be a way to have a little bit of an advantage. There's activity, definitely, and again, Michigan State's aggressive, crashing the glasses and getting downhill, but still, it does seem like there might be a little size and athleticism here for Ole Miss to try to make it interesting. And Tennessee, chat, we've just been, so focused on this upcoming matchup that we haven't even looked at the Kentucky score. Bring Calipari back, chat. Kentucky, do they need a nice coach that, overachieved with a young roster this year, chat? Calipari at Arkansas? Man, 20 points almost. 20-40. Kentucky, I think this is probably a good check for them in the season. Sweet 16, Mark Pope, first year. But still, anytime you get a disastrous result to end the season, probably not going to be ideal. Rick Barnes in the Elite Eight, chat? When was the last time Rick Barnes made a Final Four? I don't know if we're jumping ahead on some of these storylines potentially. Again, you never know. Second half, history made. Kentucky storms back. You can't necessarily say it won't happen. Again, it is March Madness. But the run through Texas and Tennessee, I guess I was thinking as Tennessee as well, too. Texas, I'm pretty sure he had a good run one of those seasons deep into the playoffs. But for Tennessee, the Loyola Chicago, they were victims of the Loyola Chicago team. It happens, chat. Can we even blame Rick Barnes for that kind of upset? I mean, literally, what was his sister Jean praying down upsets. I mean, Rick Barnes, what's he going to do? Upset the prayers, chat? I mean, Rick Barnes is not that great of a coach. Lost to Michigan in 2021-22 again. Florida Atlantic, Dusty May. Hey, Rick Barnes. I mean, these aren't necessarily the worst results in the world, but it's been a minute. Okay, they were in the Elite Eight last year. Lost to Purdue in a close game, 6-point game, 72-66. Zach Edey. So, again, you can't necessarily say, I guess we could look back at some of the upsets and go, hey, probably should have won those games. But still, Sister Jean, Michigan, those aren't the worst case scenarios. Those aren't looking back like, hey, yeah, that was just a mid-major school that had kind of a fun year. So, with whoever, I would have to go back and look at their potential bracket. That's not Duke, chat. This is Houston, right? Tennessee is a potential Houston team who is the last game of the night, the closing game of the night. Speaking of Purdue versus Houston, a game we actually wish we could have Zach Edey back in for. I don't know, Houston, if they're going to, what the entertainment value of them is, or Purdue anyways. Houston's kind of fun to watch still. But, yeah, Tennessee would be facing the winner of the Houston-Purdue matchup. So, I think my brother just randomly picked Tennessee to win the national title. So I was like, hey, I love the random shot and the confidence in the, just picking a team, chat. Especially for, maybe he watched a lot of college basketball they don't know about. But I don't think he did. I can be pretty confident that he's not watching college basketball. He's an F1 guy. It's just what it is. So the F1 guys are picking Tennessee. At least they keep that portion of it alive. But Duke, Alabama would be the matchup for the Final Four, chat. Florida, Texas Tech. And then, again, a potential Michigan State. You never know. Or Auburn, Ole Miss. I mean, this is really a battle of the conferences in this bracket, isn't it, chat? We get either I guess we could go, again, a mix of SEC, Big Ten either way. But it could be an SEC, or a Big Ten, Big Ten. Again, and then if it is SEC, Big Ten, regardless of who splits the matchups either way, will then be at a showdown, again, directly head-on for those conferences again. Winner takes all, Big Ten versus the SEC. So those are the two powerhouses, chat, always fighting, always ready to, pop off against each other, chat. But this is another chance. Michigan, we've got to represent for the conference. We can't let Michigan State be the farthest advancing Big Ten team in the tournament. What are we doing here? Maryland, of course, going down to Florida. I guess we got SEC here. And, of course, Purdue, we can't definitely let them. Michigan State, they're like such a rival that, like, Purdue almost doesn't even count. It's like Purdue's just going to enter the fight, and now all of a sudden Michigan and Michigan State are teamed up against Purdue. Pause. It's like, hey, wait a second. What's Purdue doing here in the Elite Eight? They can't be the last Big Ten. This Big Ten battle versus the SEC and these, like, this is against us, against these Michigan schools. We're the rivals taking on these teams. Not Purdue. Get Purdue out of here, chat. Leave us to Michigan and Michigan State. And then Michigan, we can hopefully take down Michigan State. Dusty May versus Tom Izzo. Who would you rather have, chat? One season going forward. Whichever answer yields Dusty May. Whichever answer the question gets Dusty May. DM us that at REMINGTOM on Instagram. But seems like they'll be able to hold our attention here in the first half for Ole Miss versus Michigan State. But just to check in on the NBA, chat, because make no mistake, the NBA, there is other things going on besides Stephen A versus LeBron. Though, who would have guessed that, is this the turning point for LeBron, chat? What is happening? LeBron, the last couple of games, the field goal percentage has definitely not been there. And then to literally be responsible for the loss the way he was, Chad, I know, everybody, you can kind of point fingers when you tumble at the end of a game the way they did. They give up like 4 points to the Bulls in the last 12 seconds or something. And I forget exactly the points to seconds ratio, but that's basically the gist of it, chat. 4 points, 12 seconds. Bulls hit a couple of three-pointers late. Lakers still go down and hit a shot to take the lead. It was because they were down. Bulls were down 3, yeah. So they go down. Pat Williams in the corner, three-pointer to tie it up. LeBron under the basket, of course, inbounding after the make. just a bad inbounds pass, chat. Just a sloppy inbound pass. And I know, LeBron could probably find a way to... Sorry, LeBron, it's just what it is. You've happened to point fingers a couple times in your career. I'm saying there are times in your career where maybe a play like that happened. You go, hey, the inbound or the receiver, it's like, hey, do you need to make a play more toward the ball, make your path more clear on where LeBron... Like, I'm sure maybe there's a way that, again, he could find a way to make it on somebody else. But... on that one, when he goes to the sideline, I mean, you just see it on his... There's very few times when you see LeBron like that frustrated with himself. It's like, oh yeah, LeBron knows that this one's on him. It's unfortunate, chat. It's just what it is in the moment. And again, all on the heels of Stephen A. beefing with him. It's like, oh no, Stephen A. Hopefully he's not the one to turn the tide on LeBron James, chat. It's just what it is. Stephen A.'s talking about who's going to be around later. Oh man, I didn't want to actually speed up the LeBron timeline like this, but... again, there's more going on than just that right now in the NBA. Cavs versus Pistons, chat. The Pistons up 10 on Cleveland. Again, Cleveland maybe sort of running into the end of the season blues, chat. They've been a historic team. They're 1 win away from 60 games. They're probably going to cross that threshold for, like second or third time in franchise history. Maybe the first time without LeBron. They definitely did it with LeBron in that 09 season. I'm trying to remember if they ever won 60 games with that Doherty-Larry Nance combination. I don't think they ever got to 60 wins with that team. So you'd imagine, again, the first real team post-LeBron. Of course, they're setting themselves up for a great playoff run here. But Detroit, without Cade as well, too. I think Cade was questionable, or was he out? I'm trying to remember the alert that I saw earlier. Again, busy day at the restaurant. I guess it didn't sink in what the Cade Cunningham injury report was. But, yeah, I guess he was fully out then for the game. Or maybe he was listed questionable at the time, and then we just assumed, oh, Cade questionable. He seems like a guy that, as much as Cade, he gets out there, he gets after, he plays. And he's been having a great year. He'll also miss a game or two, for sure. He's definitely known to be on the sideline every now and then. But Thompson, Tim Hardaway Jr., Duren... attacking the athleticism, chat, attacking the rim. Do we need to get a shot chart here on the game? Where's the shot chart at? Where'd it go? Is that a post-game ordeal? They're only going to give us the recent ones, chat. Detroit skyrocketing on the win probability. Only up by 12, though. And again, Cleveland is fully healthy, so you never know. Mitchell and Garland, they could storm back here in a little bit. But Detroit, I think they're on a run as well, too, chat. I believe that... I don't want to say that it is... No, actually, I'm thinking of... I think I'm thinking of Houston. Houston's won maybe 10 or 11. One of those teams is on a pretty good little win streak here, chat. But like we know, I mean, the Pistons have obviously just had a really great turnaround season. 41 wins, chat. I mean, that's their last 3 seasons combined, basically. Cade Cunningham, of course. JB Bickerstaff, shout out. Trajan Landon, chat. Trajan? I was trying to think of a joke, but it's tough, chat. It's tough. There's definitely some protection jokes that could probably be made. You definitely got to put some Trajan on the pick before. I don't know. It's just gonna get crazy and pause and yo. So I'm just gonna IT will workshop it and make sure it's really professional before we bring it to the group. But I guess 4 out of the last 5 anyways, starting to turn around. Of course, the win streak back in February was the real peak of the season, and some good matchup games as well too. The Heat, they've been playing teams tough, but still closing some games, some fourth quarters. Pelicans twice, I guess, and then San Antonio, not necessarily the most impressive win on the schedule at this point, chat. And then losing to Dallas as well, too, in this run. So we got Cleveland, Minnesota, OKC. The next 3 games is a chance for them to really be like, okay, Detroit is here, chat. Detroit is here. And at Minnesota, at OKC. So, yeah, I guess important to note that Cleveland, they are. But home court with no Cade, it kind of balances each other out in both of those settings. But, yeah, Detroit has definitely turned it around. I mean, the over-under was 23.5. Oh, chat, where'd the water bottle go? Oh, it's within reach. Yikes. That would have been the perfect moment, chat, Just realized we left the water bottle somewhere. But they have to be the biggest overachiever of the year. I know that the Spurs were probably supposed to be this team from a record jump standpoint, chat. I don't think they were they as low as 23.5? I want to say we were in the 30s with Wemby, right? Of course, we didn't have Fox going into the season, but Chris Paul? Yeah, 35.5. So it's going to be close, chat. It's going to be close. Can we get to 36 wins? Who had the San Antonio over thinking Wembanyama was going to be healthy for the full season? Oh, no, chat. That is going to be a real nail-biter for the bettors here. What do we got? 10 games left. Tomorrow versus Boston. Boston, Golden State, Orlando, Denver, Cleveland, Portland, Clippers, Warriors, Suns, Raptors. It's kind of a schedule, chat. It's kind of a run of tough teams and some teams in here that might be vying for some playoff position. I don't know if we need to start doing a full breakdown of the last 10 games the Spurs are going to play here. But, again, with Golden State, Denver, I think Cleveland's kind of in the 1 seed driver's seat. But the Clippers, again, Warriors twice. Phoenix, maybe. I don't know if they're still within reach of the play-in or not, or what their seeding is right now, chat. Phoenix is a yikes. Phoenix is not going to win a play. Yeah, they're 11th. I honestly, at this point, Phoenix, with all due respect to Durant and Booker, should probably not be in the play-in game. It would just make things a whole lot easier. What are they going to pretend to keep the season going happy? Like, we just don't need to see a miserable basketball team keep playing games, and then we have at least 4 playoff games if they win their play-in game. 2 play-in games, potentially, and then 4 playoff games if the Suns are miserable. I mean, their miserableness would probably not let that happen. But regardless, we just don't want to risk it. So just let's keep them at the 11th seed and then, get Durant in San Antonio maybe. I don't know if again, cost, who else is available. Well, of course, as the offseason approaches, chat, make no mistake, I've already been on the trade machine looking for guys for the Spurs to get in the offseason. We'll be cooking up trades. We'll be looking for star players to pair Wembanyama with. But I'm just saying, maybe Durant's an option. Maybe Durant's a possibility. But, maybe like a team like Boston, I don't know if they can get him on a slow night tomorrow night. But is this like a primetime game where they thinking Wembanyama versus Tatum? Is he going to give us the network here? Oh, it's not going to do that, chat. We could go into the apps and look, I'm sure. But Old Miss, chat, here we go. 7 points. Any sort of glimmer of daylight in a margin of victory between them and, any just margin in the score between them and Michigan State is hope, chat. It's just any sort of crack in it's like the door. We just need a little bit of light shining through. That's it. Just a little bit of hope that Ole Miss can get this win. Quick hands by Michigan State, knocking it off the Ole Miss driver in transition, getting a turnover, but a little bit of a dry stretch here for the offense. No Jace Richardson on the court, so like we said, and who's this number 5 guy wearing the headband? How have we not, again, it's just our not really watching Michigan State that much this year, but watching the Michigan games as well, too. How was I not just upset? Again, I don't necessarily like Michigan State as a school, but you learn to respect some of the legends and the players that have played there over time. Like a guy like Cassius Winston. I mean, I get you're paying homage to him, and, guys in the league, like Tatum right now, of course, he's been paying homage the last couple of seasons with, and I'm sure, just his new look for the rest of his career with that Kobe, MJ. Obviously it's a Kobe band, but, Kobe with the MJ part of it. It's all part of the lineage in there regardless. Is Tatum part of the Kobe MJ lineage, chat? It's high praise for our guy Tatum. I'm sure that Sam puts him right there in the what do they call it? The family tree. I get the basketball ancestry of, and you would probably say it's probably more, of course, a guard. Again, are we looking at guys like Booker and in that range? And in Booker, I mean, has he? Unfortunately for Booker, I don't know if he's achieved to be in the MJ Kobe conversation, but in terms of the play on the court and capability, and again, it would go to the achievement. Like, could Booker still is a little bit of a, he was a guy. He was he was a guy that was a number 2 on a title team at some point. Are we in our Godfather bag right now, Chet? It's like I don't know if that's what the Godfather sounds like, but Jason Tatum, he's a good basketball player. It's just what it is. But or Devin Booker, good basketball player, but hasn't really gotten the titles and the regular season accolades as some of those other two guards we're talking about. Maybe even the Clyde Drexler family basketball tree chat. It's just what it is. But Jace Richardson back in. Oh, he loses the ball and it turns into an assist. The man's just got the good luck on his side, chat. It is what it is. Scorekeepers, that's not an assist. Make sure we get that one right for posterity. We got to make sure that there's no lies told about this Michigan State run, even if there was a game. Richardson driving. Oh! Almost gets the and one, but his attacking right now has immediately brought life back into the game. So 11:40. I don't know if he's going to play the last 11:40, but we're entering the crunch time again. Down 7, at least hey, Jace Richardson, reel us back in a little bit and hit a couple of shots and try to make this a little bit closer. But halftime, what was the actual halftime score that we landed on for Tennessee, Kentucky? I mean, Candace Parker on the studio show right now trying to, again, the volume's down right now, chat, but probably trying to still maintain some professionalism, but the excitement's got to be through the roof right now. The alma mater, the hometown school, getting a win in dominant fashion, or at least winning in dominant fashion in the first half. 15. So it's not 20. Kentucky, the comeback, it's already started, chat. It's 28-3 days, so sorry to our Atlanta fans in the chat. It's just what it is. It's NFL history at this point. I don't know how we can avoid it. We have to talk about it, chat. Sorry, Falcons fans. You guys gave up a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl. There's nothing we can do about it at this point. So is somebody liable to give up a big lead at some point? Maybe it's Auburn later versus Michigan. I don't know if we consider Michigan the type of team to make a massive comeback in that type of way, but you never know, chat. We could get hot from 3 in a serious way. We could hit 9 threes in a row at some point. I just jinxed it. We're not going to hit 9 threes in the game now. But I'm just saying, we do have that. That's not a thing that you would be surprised if Michigan did. We do have that upside on the roster. So maybe it's this Kentucky team. Maybe it's Houston versus Purdue. Purdue storms out, and it's Purdue. And then Houston locks in Calvin Sampson. But again, I don't know. Calvin Sampson with a 20-point comeback. There's something about Izzo would feel like one of the guys, chat, to make the comeback. I don't know if the 10-point, 12-point, whatever the full-on margin of whatever the biggest lead in the game was. Can we get a trend? Was there a trend on the ESPN one? Oh, well, chat. NBA, yikes, we're all over the place. We didn't even get past the first Cade game, but the Pistons have now moved the lead to 14. So they continue to storm ahead here, chat. But to look at some of these other scores real quick. And the Cleveland, I mean, they're probably, of course, a little worn down from playing San Antonio the other night, chat. It's just what it is. Obviously, that matchup's going to take a toll. The Clippers up 20 versus Brooklyn. Brooklyn's not really a prove-it team at this point, of course. But the Clippers proving that they're going to go out there and be dominant, lay the smackdown. And again, it's just a bad matchup for the Nets, chat. They doubled them up last time they played them, 67-126. Yikes! They're pacing for it again. At least they're on pace to score more than 60. 67 is crazy. That's got to be the low total for the season. 67 is wild, chat. That's 20 points a quarter less than? It's 17 points a quarter-ish, 18. Yikes, chat. I can't even do math, and I still feel like that number's so low that we can still actually figure it out. Kawhi with 25 in the first half. I mean, okay, Kawhi is... because we have to be professional and check these guys' stats every now and then, we will look up Kawhi Leonard's page, but make no mistake, chat, it's not a page I find myself going back to. Oh, Kawhi! Yikes, chat. The memories. It is what it is, but he is turning this Clippers team around a little bit here. The numbers on the season, 48 and 39. 20 a game. And it's funny to look at that career number at 20 a game as well, too, because, again, at the peak of his powers, you know that Kawhi, again, I mean, you see him tonight at 25 in the first half. You know what he is as a scorer, but just with the arc of his career. Again, not even where we're at this point with some of the up and down and with the injuries and just working his way back to playing consistently. I mean, look at the on and off chat. You see him finally start, and this is reminiscent of a couple of years ago, not missing like this much time, but or maybe so, chat. I'm trying to remember exactly which season, but the way they kind of course, you can look at the box scores and see the ramping up of him playing, where it's like, okay, you know, he's gonna play every other night here. Then we're gonna get a good stretch. And I mean, there's probably some reasons, some setbacks, and some stuff going on. But I mean, you see the off days being built, the back-to-backs as well too. You know, not playing in those, but and winning both without Kawhi. Of course, the depth of the team is, you know, they've had to deal without Kawhi for quite a bit. But 5-1 in the last 6. A loss to OKC, 2-point loss to OKC the other night. 57% from the field, 52% from 3, and 26 a game. So, whoo, Kawhi. Look out, chat. I mean, Atlanta, Charlotte, Cleveland, Memphis, OKC, New York. I mean, again, you can only play who's on your schedule, but his efficiency has kicked back up into that. Where Kawhi, I mean, when Kawhi is making shots, and a 3 in the corner from Michigan State. Down 1, chat. 10 minutes. It's Jace. And again, I don't know if like subconsciously I guess Jace having a good performance in Michigan State losing would be another best case scenario. Chat, sorry to Jace Richardson. It's just what it is. We don't want to see the Sparties advance anymore, but Jace at 18 tonight, chance to put up 20 in a big spot, carry his team. Again, the ability to close out a game like that, of course, we know how that adds to the storyline, but with where he's at kind of in drafts right now, this performance itself is encouraging. Stepping up, big gamer, creating off the dribble a little bit, you know, attacking the rim, but you see the floor spacing on some of the... So he's up to 12 right now. When was the last Tankathon update? They move him up? I guess we saw it in the last live stream. So yeah, he hasn't updated. Hasn't updated it since we were live last time, chat. Edgecombe still at 4. Malik to 6. And Jack Ukonis still hanging around in the top 5 as well, too. But Asa Newell, Jeremiah Fears, Trey Johnson. I mean, you got 2 guards above him right here who... Ooh, Johnson, good 3-point shooter this year. 39% from 3, 20-point scorer as well, too. And Fears for Oklahoma. I think, yeah, he's going to need to continue to develop that outside game a little bit. He's 28% from the 3 this year. Projects to 36% in the NBA, which I think would be pretty good first couple of years anyways. If, you know, you're going to jump from high 20s in the college to high 30s. That's definitely in the pros. Definitely something you'll like if you're an evaluation crew. But I could see him moving up over some of these players as well. Again, maybe the creation of Johnson and Fears is a little bit higher, but just Richardson's sort of all-around game and his more consistent outside shot. Oh, and the left... I guess he is a lefty, chap, but the lefty pass to the interior, unfortunately snuffed out by the Ole Miss defense. But again, there you go. Jace Richardson showing his upside, and it doesn't work out for Michigan State. Perfect! Perfect. Ole Miss missing the 3 on the other end, chat. Zaire Williams with a little 6-point game. Keon Johnson said he's going to try to carry the Nets tonight. 13 points and 5 for 10 shooting. Harden 7-5. I guess we can do a little Harden check as well too. But I guess what were you going to say about Kawhi's one of those guys when he is, you know, making shots, his efficiency is nearly as good as anybody in the leagues. Right up there with a just on the paper numbers standpoint, as well as a confidence standpoint too. Just a guy that you'd want to have taking shots in your lineup. But Harden as well. I mean, if you could get Harden in the 39-ish, you got a couple of 20-point three-pointer games in here. So I don't know if it's fair to extend his range of games compared to what we were comparing him against Kawhi Leonard to. So here, let's just go, like those last 6 games. Because you could see maybe the three-point shooting, I guess there's a 2 for 11 in there. But yeah, 44% in the last 6 from 2, 43% from the field. I think that's kind of the splits you're just going to be getting from Harden at this point in his career. You know, it's going to be the field goal and the 3-point percentage are going to be pretty similar. Hopefully, though, again, that's because the 3-point percentage would be in the 40s. If they're similar because it's like a 38 and 38, then yeah, you're probably going to be, crossing your fingers really about what Kawhi's going to be doing at that point. Really hoping that Norman Powell is like 50, 40, 90 in the playoffs then. But, yeah, Harden is definitely getting more consistent as well too, Chad. So the Clippers. Look out for the Clippers. I guess we said, well, we weren't going to do the rankings, I guess, to break down the Spurs schedule. But if we can look at the rankings for a legit team, then I think that would make a lot of sense. So they're, of course, not like a play-in team. Out of the play-in at this point. Barely, though. Golden State. They'll be fighting. And Minnesota as well, too. We got a 3-way tie for that 6th spot. So we'll be really monitoring who will be avoiding, or I guess, the 6th spot for not making the play-in. Because, yeah, for the 7th and 8th for having to potentially play those couple extra games. So the Grizzlies at 44 and 29. And, I mean, if we're talking about news of the day as well, too, chat, the Grizzlies have, they've made a move at head coach, kind of surprisingly, letting go of Taylor Jenkins. So if they're going to drop some games here as well, too, maybe the Clippers could even potentially jump up into the 5 seed. But a 6-3 Denver versus Clippers is, an interesting matchup for the Clippers to now have to guard a big like Jokic as well too. If they could maybe almost like a weirdly a 7 seed matchup against the Rockets. I don't know if the Rockets are like a more fun team to play than the Nuggets. Nuggets probably a worse team, but again, Jokic is just like such a scary first round matchup that maybe for the Clippers too. With Zubats, I don't know, maybe you just say we just have Zubats make him work a little bit, pause, and then the wings we're going to be able to overwhelm the rest of the Denver rosters. So maybe the Clippers just aren't really scared of anybody at this point. But if you could get to the 5 as well, too, you're playing the Lakers in the first round. Clippers-Lakers first round is crazy, chat. LA is a buzz. And I guess the Lakers are at 44 wins, too. But again, they're hopefully not going to be trending in the direction that the Grizzlies are going to be trending in here. So, I mean, if that's a potential first rounder, holy cow. The battle for LA, LeBron and Bronny versus Kawhi and James Harden, chat. It is what it is. It's on the table. Ballmer. They finally, that's all it took, chat. They just needed the good luck karma of getting their own arena, and then they're like, okay, you can finally be your own basketball team now. The Clippers versus the Lakers in their own arenas for the first round potential playoff. Luka versus Kawhi. Not that there's like a future of the NBA with like Kawhi and James. Is Kawhi and James Harden the future face of the league? Probably not going to be a conversation that happens if they take down Luka Doncic, chat. But again, just the current sort of competitive run of things, definitely establishing themselves as the better LA team, is on the table. Hornets Raptors in a couple of matchups. Okay, chat, we do have snacks in this studio somewhere, I swear. I'm pretty sure that IT hit some beef jerky. We just need to take a quick timeout, chat. There's some beef jerky in the studio somewhere. I know we were munching on it the other night. Give me a second. Okay, chat. I don't know why IT felt the need to hide the beef jerky so well, but we did get our hands on it. Pause. We did get powered up here for a second longer. So we'll see how much farther that goes. And Michigan Auburn halftime may just have to turn into a snack break, if not just a full on, again, seeing what happens. Oh, excuse me, chat. That checkpoint in the game. But we do have like 2 more beef jerky sticks, so we can ration it out for the rest of the show. We'll just see how it goes, chat. But yeah, Rick Barnes now down, Kentucky down 12-13, chat. Make it 13. Interesting range. That 15 range at halftime was just close enough to be like, okay. It's at least a little bit of a chin scratcher. I don't know if this is like live line territory, chat. IT, I don't know if we need to start busting into the funds for this one. Again, Kentucky, Mark Pope, a little unproven in these situations. But I don't know if Rick Barnes is, chat. I don't know if Rick Barnes is necessarily a veteran of closing out these tournament games. The problem is Kentucky just airballed a 3 on the other end. A couple of corner 3 misses that they probably should have gotten to go. But the defense and the energy is still bringing them back, chat. So maybe it doesn't matter. Mark Pope getting these guys energized. And this might be, honestly, we're in game of the tournament territory here. 55-55 with 6 minutes left. We'll see what the final score ends up being. If this slows down offensively here at the end, maybe it kind of putters out from a quality standpoint, chat. But again, the toughness, the competitiveness, it's been back and forth the entire game. Nobody, I think, is really proven as like this team should be winning. I mean, yeah, they just showed the field goals for the half. Ole Miss is 8 for 19, and Michigan State is 19 for 19, or 19 for 19. That'd be insane. They are 9 for 19. So literally the same shot-making ability in the second half of these teams. They're playing on equal level. I think, since Michigan's going to get the win against Auburn, if we're going to need to see an SEC team advance, I think we should just push Ole Miss through right now. I think that would be the team to get. And like we said, we need some underdogs. People are worried about the state of college basketball. Oh, all the 1 seeds are dominant. All the 1 seeds are winning. Just wait till the Elite Eight. Like, let's wait a couple of years. Let's wait for the tournament to finish. We might get to the Elite Eight and be like, wait a second. Where'd Auburn and Michigan State go? It's Ole Miss versus Michigan? And then you're going to be like, well, what's wrong with college basketball? Can't we have the good teams back? Can we have our good teams? Can we have our star players? Can we have Izzo and Janai Broom? But just look out, chat. Careful what you wish for. You may get a 6-4 Elite Eight in Ole Miss versus Michigan State, but that might be the one, honestly. I guess Arkansas, like we were saying as well, too, as the 10 seed was like the other one hanging around. But, where was the other bracket here? But, yeah, I guess 1-4. So, if Kentucky makes the comeback here, it could be a 3 versus 4 and a 5 versus a 6. Like, that's a little bit different than what we were looking at a week ago going, what is happening? I get on the other end of things, Duke and Auburn Duke and Florida are still staring down the college basketball landscape as these 2 top teams. But that's just, again, kind of where we were at in general. And it still doesn't make up for the earlier rounds and the fact that, again, a lot of the top teams did win this year. But, again, it may be a little different from all the 1 season advancing. It's just every tournament's a snowflake, chat. Every tournament is a butterfly. Whatever, things that are unique and one of a kind, chat. Every tournament is going to have its own ebb and flow. And I know this is the Rem and Sam pod. You tune in for this type of breaking news, but it's just what it is. It's just what it is. You got to let the rounds play out. Let's get out of the first weekend, Can we get another weekend of the tournament before we start judging? And maybe that's something that we should have looked at ourselves as well, too. It's like, hey, you know what? A 6-5-6 is like 2 lower seeds, honestly. Once you're down to the outside of those top 4, it's like, it's 16 seeds, obviously. So it's like kind of segmented there where the high seeds 1 through 4, you get kind of your mid seeds 5 through 8. Your 9 through 12 is your lower seeds that are more capable of making a run. And then, your 13 through 16 is going to be like, you're really surprised. Like, holy cow, this team came out of nowhere and really made a run. But you'd have some teams in those middle tiers there make it a run. Michigan State with the turnover, batting it back, slamming it down. getting the lead. Oh, man. What is this? LeBron turning it over, chat? Hey, yo. Sorry, LeBron. We get it. You're the greatest, second greatest player of all time. Greatest player for a generation. Arguably the greatest player of all time. It's a funny moment. It happens. It gets the best of them. Shaq, everybody's on Shaqtin' a Fool at least once, chat. Even the great King James is not immune from an occasional Shaqtin' a Fool performance. So whoever that was that turned that bowler for Ole Miss might be in that range as well, too. But right back the other way, 3. And the player that they just showed the stats for, I'm not going to try to say his name because I don't. It's like Padula or something like that. Here, I guess. What was the name, chat? 20 points and really efficient 3-point shooting. Yeah, Padula. Oh, where's the update? Yikes. a little behind. 3:30 to go. So we're in crunch time, chat. Yeah, here we go. Up to date. 61-61. Where has Padula done it in the last couple of minutes? 20 points, 4 for 7 from 3. 3 rebounds, 2 assists. 3 fouls. So Padula, be careful. And Dia as well, too. Getting a little sketchy there. 4 for 11 from Dia. Getting his work in. But Brakefield off the bench. 9, 7, and 3 in 25 minutes. I guess, chat, we're not keeping up a stat line of the day. Who is in early contention for stat line of the day? Padula is in the lead right now. 20 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. So let's check out the Kentucky-Texas game. Tennessee, chat, yikes. Sorry. Kentucky, Tennessee. 13 from Ziegler, 5 assists, 1 rebound, 4 for 9. So he's in the mix. Definitely podium. Stat line of the day, podium for sure. But again, Danny Wolf, Janai Broom, chat. We've got LJ Cryer. We've got Braden Smith. We've got some lead stat line of the day candidates still to play later on in the late window here. So stay tuned. We're still on for a little bit longer. Don't worry, the Remington Pod. You will watch us get just our hopes crushed here in a little bit with Michigan and Auburn. It's just what it is, chat. But, yeah, you see the three-point shooting for Kentucky. Typically, of course, offensive team, spread the floor, but 3 for 13 on the day. Tennessee 3 for 13. But, yeah, Kentucky 3 for 12. So, fortunately, Tennessee themselves, at least from 3, has been not able to get anything going there either. But I was going to say they're not really a volume team, but they are, putting up a lot of shots. I guess just their main guys not making versus, again, you see sort of the Kentucky three-point shooting a little more spread out. But still 15 as we get under 15. 15 under 15. So, again, the minutes to points check ratio is at least kind of adding up here. But they're not necessarily closing it any farther than they had previous to halftime. So I don't know if they'll be able to make a run here and actually make this interesting. But also, again, you need to do, if you're Mark Pope, you just don't want to lose in the Sweet 16 by 20 to Tennessee, Can we get this to 9? Lose by 9 to Tennessee? Hey, that's kind of respectable. You go to the AD and be like, hey, we're right on track to rebuild this program, man. We're right where we need to be. And I'm sure, I saw some recruiting news involving Kentucky. I don't remember good or bad, but there was some recruiting updates as well, too. Well, the guy that committed on McAfee recently just went to Arizona. So, shout out. They're going to be competing with, playing with Bryce James on the Wildcats next season. And that's something we didn't mention as well, too. Talking about the LeBron conversation yesterday with him on McAfee. But they brought this up on the show as well, and it's, it's actually in play in such a real way now, chat, is the fact that he's probably going to be playing with Bryce as well. And again, we don't want to really just throw the all-time jinx out there right now, chat, but the math of the years that it would take is really in play. And, again, you would look at the Bryce James sort of profile at this point. I think he's a 3-star. Who knows what the roster is going to be on Kentucky for him to get those minutes. But with what we saw, and again, not to rehash a whole conversation, but and not to necessarily, again, make a point that would sound negative. You can go back and check the tapes, chat. For one, you can check the tapes. We supported Bronny as the NBA talent, but also the fact that it's even if it's we supported the pick, but on top of that, supported the NBA talent, especially for where they got him in the second, especially for the 55th pick as well too, chat. Not a bad move in my mind. But just to say it, like, if Bronny's going to end up in the league, like, there's just a good chance that Bryce can end up in the league after 1 year in Arizona as well too. And with the again, with just all the mechanics of how it can work, I think it's a very realistic possibility that if the checkpoints are there in a similar way, chat, that he could definitely be on this team. So, I mean, who even thought that would have even, like, been a possibility? And then you get the first kid, and it's like, okay, that's cool. Like, maybe he's in the league for the first kid, and at least they're on the same team. And then he's, again, like, who knows what the possibilities are, chat. But I'm just saying, like, Bryce goes into college next season and then could be in the 2026 draft. So that's, I guess, maybe the way we should just concisely laid it out that way. It's like, oh, you guys do the math. Wait a second, 2026 draft, like, Bryce James could be playing basketball in the 2026-2027 season. So, yes, that is true. Again, we're still in the 2024-2025 season. We still need this one to finish up, and then we still have the 2025-2026 season to go. And then we're into that 2026-2027 season. But still, a season and a half away from that start date is a lot closer than I think people realize. So, something to keep an eye on for sure. And again, as that team continues to evolve as well too, if it's a good team, that's good. But, if they're not necessarily stacked with 5 stars, then there is also a route as well too. Where, again, maybe the three-star thing is just disrespectful. Like, Sam's really been championing the basketball upside of him for a long time. So, he's definitely a prospect to keep an eye on, just from a talent standpoint as well too, in terms of all the storylines and narratives. But we got a tied game. 2:15 left, chat. Old Miss. Padula. Can he do it, chat? Is the floor spacing going to continue? The clutch shot making. The SEC versus the Big Ten. I'm not rooting for the SEC, but Sparty, we can't see him win anymore, chat. Sparty victories, I just can't take it. Padula driving, gets to the rim, no good. Jace Richardson, the rebound, chat. Oh, minute 45, timeout. Izzo. Does he have all 3 going into the last couple of minutes here? Oh, the clock management by Izzo. I guess it's been a competitive game. I don't know if it's been necessarily, again, like the cleanest second half, but it's been an even back and forth second half, so he hasn't needed to, like, stop momentum or anything. You can just kind of go timeout to timeout. So 13 points now for Kentucky versus Tennessee. 11.5 minutes left. Zeigler for 3. Oh, way off, chat. So far off that they get the offensive rebound and take the lead to 15. Peyton Manning, not impressed by the performance. Impressed by the win, but not really impressed by the performance. 11 offensive rebounds so far for Tennessee is, of course, a major factor why they have this lead. So just hurry this up, chat. South region, get this game over with. Izzo, somebody just sneak a timeout away from these teams so they can just speed up this game and get Michigan on the court. Let's go, chat. Let's go. We don't need Jace Richardson drawing fouls and slowing down the game and controlling the pace and taking over and, doing all that stuff, chat. We need quick, sloppy... yo! Whoa! We need, dysfunctional possessions, long, drawn out. Nobody can necessarily get a good look. We have to use up the whole shot clock. Creating. Is that Atkins? Oh, he gets it to roll, chat. The runner going to his right. So Michigan State up 2. It is Atkins. 5 for 10 on the day. 11 points. Padula. If he gets this game, chat, he's looking at all-tournament team potential. He gets the cutter in the corner. Old Miss. Oh, they can't respond, chat. They can't respond. We're under 60 seconds left. And again, Michigan State already has the lead. Another timeout by Izzo. Izzo can just set up these offensive possessions every time now. He can draw it up. He can control the pace. Atkins with the little cross, chat. Getting into the lane. Akins, my bad. Akins. With the little hezzy. The little Schultz hezzy, chat. Making his defender look like he's Jay Will. Oh, a Chili's commercial. What time is Chili's? 3 for me, 10. Oh, chat. It's not the Big Vern burger, but it's close. Shout out Chili's. Are they on DoorDash, chat? Grubhub. What do we need to do? The problem is now we don't want to just like use up our whole paycheck for our whole day's work for some DoorDash. But, I mean, what do you work for, chat? What do you work for? I guess a day of DoorDash, potentially. Shout out to our DoorDashers out there. It's just what it is. Our Uber Eats, our Grubhubbers. A Grubhubber. Is that a pause? That I don't know if that's a pause or I don't know what that is, chat. A Grubhubber doesn't sound good, though. So maybe we should just stop saying it. A DoorDasher, though. Not bad. Uh-oh. I mean, is live ordering food the best move? There's a place in town with a half-pound burger? Oh, chat. They can have a half-pound burger here in 20 minutes? Hey, yo, pause. Is this food? What are we talking about? What is going on? Oh, McDonald's? Bruh. Okay, the burger scene is strong. We knew that for sure, but I guess I didn't realize it carried over into DoorDash as well, too. DoorDashing Taco Bell is a wild move. I'm not going to lie. It's not that I don't support of course, the economy of shopping fast food. Make no mistake, if we're in the car and we're hitting up a place, we always tend to gravitate toward the budget-friendly options. And then every now, I mean, you got to just mix it up, you know. Sometimes you shop local when you can, chat. You just do what you can. That's all the people ask, right? Pause. You do what you can. Padula driving in gets the floater, but Michigan State scored on the other end. Down. So Ole Miss still down 2 with 30 seconds. But Padula can't be stopped, chat. Peyton Pritchard? Who is this kid? Tyler Hero? What's the comp? DiVincenzo? He's a little too short to be DiVincenzo. Not a diss, just in a comparison way. I think DiVincenzo is like, you know, I guess DiVincenzo, I'm thinking it's like 6'6", but he might be like 6'4". 6'3", 6'4". I don't know what the with shoes, without shoes measurements are going for these days, but okay, he is 6'4", so Padula might be in DiVincenzo range. Honestly, let's see here, chat. Is Padula kind of the same sort of... The Big Ragu is crazy. I always forget that's one of his nicknames, chat. Who is the other nickname we were looking at? Oh, the Big Dookie? Yikes. Brad Doherty, the Big Dookie, and Dante DiVincenzo, the Big Ragu, is a crazy team nickname. But Sean Padula, Emma Memorial High School, formerly Virginia Tech, all ACC and all SEC. The all-conference combo back-to-back years, different conferences, chat. I wonder what kind of list that puts Padula on. Especially, you know, the modern times as well, too. Like, back in history, you know, if a guy did maybe in the 80s get all conferences, 2 teams, 2 different conferences, he would potentially have had to sit out a year. He couldn't have done it back-to-back years. There would have been a gap year, maybe even adjustment years there in there as well, too. So, I mean, you're talking about an elite guy that would have, like, made all conferences as a freshman and then transferred and made another all conferences as a senior. I'm not saying that doesn't filter out to be correct. I'm just saying that storyline doesn't necessarily jump off the page as something that I remember. But Padula, not efficient totally from the field, but 39% from 3. 15 a game, so maybe not necessarily as like an on-the-ball creator in the NBA, but as a floor spacer. Again, DiVincenzo was playing with Bridges and Brunson and that whole Villanova team. Pascal, Spellman, you know, Archidiacono. So he definitely had a reduced role in the ability to take some easier shots. So you put Padula, again, in that DiVincenzo role. Is he able to do the same thing? Potentially, with the three-point percentage. And DiVincenzo's a guy that can be a little up and down sometimes, finishing at the rim as well, too. He may not necessarily be like a 50, 40, 90 guy every season, even back in college. So Detroit, 5 minutes left. Detroit Pistons back to the NBA real quick. Up 10 with 5. Raptors up 14 to enter the fourth. The Bucks the Bucks down 11 at halftime to the Knicks. So shout out to Dame Lillard, man. Dame Lillard, of course, with some pretty serious injury news. It doesn't seem like, it's going to be any, it's going to obviously cost him some basketball time. He's out indefinitely. For the immediate impact of it, it doesn't seem like it's going to be costly for anything more than that from an immediate health standpoint, so that's good. But, the blood clots and stuff is always a scary situation. And, again, from where the Bucks were at as well, too, from a basketball standpoint, it's just a major loss. I mean, this was one of the, not necessarily one of the top front-running finals teams, of course, but with Giannis, just a team that you don't want to match up against in the playoffs. You don't know what kind of run they're going to be able to give a team and what kind of, the wear and tear chat of a playoff run. Like, the Bucks could be part of that as a competitive team to play against. But they were running as one of the teams that just the least depth teams in the league, sort of, the least margin for error with injury teams. And Dame Lillard is a big part of that. Padula with the pump fake three, not able to get it to go. Still Ole Miss ball. Down 4, 17 seconds left. Come on, Padula! Oh, no. Sparty's going to get it to go, chat. So Sparty is going to be the potential matchup for Michigan in the Elite Eight if they can get past Auburn. So it'll be, can Michigan take down Auburn, but then a potential matchup against the rival Michigan State. I just don't want to see us lose to Michigan State, chat. Yeah. It's already disgusting me. What do we got here for Kentucky, Tennessee? Kentucky's still not necessarily working their way back at all. But Ryan Rollins, 12 points, 5 for 6 from the field, 2 for 3. Chad, I take it all back. Ryan Rollins is going to step into the Dame Rollin. Dame Ewing theory. I don't know if Ryan Rollins just needed the starting job confidence to, be fully unlocked. Gary Trent, Kevin Porter, AJ Green off the bench. I mean, definitely you got no backup bigs, that's for sure. I don't know who they're going to be able to get for a playoff run to help them with this role, chat. But Rollins is not a bad numbers guy upside-wise in that spot. Again, could he be what Dame is upside-wise in that spot? No. But Rollins has had some moments. I don't know if we can necessarily pull up his numbers and prove that, he's been a high teens guy at some point in the league. I don't know if that bared out over a season. Did he have a Portland run in there? I'm pretty sure there was a... Oh, Milwaukee, Golden State, Washington. He had a Washington run. 4 points a game in Washington. See what I'm talking about, chat? Look how good he was in Washington. But 50% from the field. Can we take these numbers seriously? 46, 37 for his percentages. So let's see here. This season with Washington, did he have some games? I mean, am I even deeper in the weeds than I thought was? Sometimes I just surprise myself with the NBA guy. You're like, wait, why do I have Ryan's Rollins stock? Why was I buying Ryan's Rollins stock one night? Yeah, chat. So this year was not the year. Was it like this random 7-point game that we saw? 3 for 4 from the field against Golden State in a loss? I don't know. December, around Christmas time, for some reason, were we just randomly watching that game and purchasing Ryan Rollins stock as he was making 2 or 3 baskets? Maybe, chat. It's just maybe what happened. There has to be like a 20, a teens. Is this the first one, chat? Oh, wow. So I guess we just got in on the Ryan Rollins stock at the right time. Maybe I'm thinking G League, Summer League games is probably what it is. That's got to be what it is. He's definitely had some good G League, Summer League performances because I guess he had a 12-pointer earlier this year. Maybe. Okay, so this year is definitely been more up year for Ryan Rollins as well too. Pause. But I know I had Ryan Rollins stock going into this year because I liked him on Milwaukee. As just a random. They just got them. They traded Beauchamp, so he's not a random dev guy anymore. But the guys they drafted with AJ Johnson, Tyler, did one of them get traded as well too? Milwaukee, what are you doing? Just don't trade Ryan Rollins. So Ole Miss down to 11 seconds. Michigan State's going to go to the free throw line with a chance to make it another 2-possession game. Holloman, 83% for the field. Would seem pretty confident. I mean, Rollins is from Michigan as well, too. So, I mean, probably another reason why he was in the watch list for guys to keep an eye on in the future. But I could see him in like a 15 point. You know, you start getting to 17 to 18 points. I know, again, it's not. Dame even still is going to give you 20 plus a night still, hopefully. Like, 18 a game is still not. But that's Austin Reeves territory. Like, is Ryan Rollins just going to ascend to be the next Austin Reeves here? Back in our bag, chat. I don't know who that is. Whatever that bag is, chat, let us know. It's not, I don't think it's the Godfather bag, but whatever the, whatever that is, what if some movie character, some TV show guy, if it's some person I'm not thinking of, let me know. But yeah, Michigan State hits 2 free throws, up 4. Padula, another 3. I was trying to draw a foul. Smart move, but I mean, what do you do at this point? 4.5 seconds. Chris Beard, Sweet 16 performance. You know, got Ole Miss looking like a decent tournament presence the next couple years. Maybe again on a lower scale, the way it was with Texas Tech in sort of a 1, 2, 3 seed sort of range. Maybe Ole Miss in that 4, 5, 6 kind of range. Still feisty, though, making those Sweet 16 potential Elite 8 runs every year. But Milwaukee down 9. Are we going to have to throw this game on? Purdue-Houston, I'll watch that game for the tournament, but if I'm being honest, like the basketball fan in me, as I say that, I immediately I'm so counterculture, Chad. I just contradict myself and go, no, that's not true. You'd want to watch Houston. Houston's fine, but Purdue, get out of here, Purdue. What are we doing? Sorry to any of the Purdue fans in the chat. Purdue fans in the chat, obviously you guys are cool. It's just the basketball rivalry. Again, it's not the people, it's the organizations, chat. We have beef with the Purdue organization. As I'm sure that Michigan, Purdue fans have beef with the Michigan organization. It's just what it is. But the Purdue fans, Purdue people, they're cool. I mean, we know Purdue fans, chat. We have Purdue fans in our lives, I think. And Notre Dame fans as well, too. Just, you know, the disgusting Indiana teams that these people root for. But, hey, they're still good people at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, you look past it and you see the best in them. It is what it is. But Giannis at 17. Kuzma with an 11. And Rollins he is at 15. But again, I mean, that's the night to night. Like, he's 6 for 9 tonight. Hey, yeah, Ryan Rollins. We knew we liked him for something, chat. Hey, whoa! 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 Yeah! That's a pause. That's going to sound the wrong way. But anyways, chat, 3 for 3 from the 3-point line. But, you know, the night to night in the upper teens is what you're going to have to watch for. But, like, he can definitely have that type of performance in a given game. Bridges with 21. Towns with 8. Giannis. He's taking out Towns. This might be a fourth quarter game here. What do we got? 3 minutes. Oh! Chat, it is what it is. I guess we should be watching the NBA anyways. This Tennessee-Kentucky game is not doing it. Should we get off the DoorDash and actually watch some NBA? Oh, oh, chat. The teriyaki, the jalapeno popper burger. What is this? 6 ounces? Angus beef? Hey, yo. Oh, chat, this is a bougie burger. I mean, jalapeno popper burger is a fancy thing, but jalapeno popper is also, like, that could go a lot of ways. Like, somebody could just throw jalapeno, and I mean, that could be good. You throw jalapenos and cream cheese on a thing, like, that's awesome. But I guess that's what this kind of is. Burger patty, cream cheese, fried jalapenos, jalapeno bacon, chipotle raspberry sauce. See, that's the bougie part, chat. Or maybe that's just something off the shelf at Hy-Vee. Who knows? But I guess shout out to the Hy-Vees, the Midwestern sort of grocery store. Yeah, I was gonna say department store, but yeah, just grocery store. So shout out to those. Whatever your version of that a Hy-Vee is. Well, I'm trying to think. I guess whatever. Do we need Sam? What's like the West Coast version? Because Sam knows, of course, he's been in the Midwest. Sam's maybe a little more well-traveled, chat. He would know what the California version of a Publix in, like, that's not a high, like, because I think it's more like the Trader Joe's, Whole Foods. Maybe not, though. I've never actually been to a Publix. I think it's just a nicer, Or is it more a Target-y sort of groceries? I'm not sure, chat. We'll have to, I guess, excuse to go to Florida. Of all the reasons to go to Florida, check out, probably not the department store. We're probably going to, but you go to make a public stop on the way down to the place to hang out to, right? You got to pick up your snacks, pick up your drinks, pick up your stuff. So I guess shout out Tom Izzo. Respect Tom Izzo, It is what it is. You start hitting these legendary status, you go, we get it. He's a legend of the game. It is what it is. Jace Richardson, of course, a stud as well, too. He's going to be another terrifying matchup this time as against Michigan. He's, of course, gotten the better of us in the past. Chat, we're rambling. The jalapeno popper burger is distracting us from the end of this Detroit Cavs game. Can we get to League Pass quick enough? Sorry to Tennessee, Kentucky. It is what it is. Minnesota versus Golden State. It's just a good night of hoops, chat. Golden State versus New Orleans. Kind of competitive. Utah, Denver. So I guess this is kind of the slate we got. We gotta watch these games now, chat. We're not gonna have any more NBA after this. Oh no, no NBA tonight. I guess we got with the tournament games as well too. If we need to watch basketball to fall asleep, chat, Houston Purdue will just have to do. Hey yo, IT, put that in the song. But here we go. 318, 122, 117. Mitchell with 38. 12 of 23. So Mitchell is playing well tonight, Chad. This is Detroit without Cade. Outperforming a good, at least Mitchell game. Mobley with a 9.3 for 10. So yeah, Mobley, bad game, Garland, 7 for 16 from the field, 43%, 50% for 3. Like, that's about as good as you'd want from Garland in terms of the combo as well, too, with him and Mitchell. Like, Mitchell playing really well, Garland playing good, like really good, is as good as you like that combo works out. So yeah, you're playing against a really good version of this Cavs team and still able to take him down. Hardaway Jr. with 32. So again, maybe not every night he's going to go 10 of 18 and 7 from 11 from 3, but could Cade put up 32 on those kind of numbers? For sure. And Hardaway with two assists and 1 rebound. Like, Cade's going to give you a little more versatility there as well. So Detroit, where were they at in the rankings again? They were at 5 or 6 in the Eastern Conference. So let's see where they were at for early potential playoff matchups here with 10 games left. So Detroit, Indiana is fun because Indiana, of course, they're starting to play better. Their offense, we saw them take down the Lakers, of course, a couple of nights ago, Chad. Oh, what is this pizza commercial? Oh, yikes, Chad. Shredded pepperoni. Uh-oh. Is this another excuse to take a snack break? We gotta plug in the TV, chat. The screen is powering down here. Let's give us a second. Let's get the background solved. Okay, chat. The Pistons just went on a 12-1 run. It's now 131 to 118. So some free throws by Cleveland make it 119, 131. They'll make it 120. So 131 here, but there's 60 seconds left. So, I mean, I guess the Cavs could have sort of a similar flurry here potentially, but they're going to have to do it with Craig Porter Jr. in the game because Mitchell's on the bench. Garland's on the bench. They've just gone ahead and said the last 60 seconds belong to the Detroit Pistons. So shout out for an impressive win tonight by the crew from the Detroit chat. I don't know if we've officially found our mistress team for the playoffs, but I think if we talk to Sam chat, we might have a similar he might have a similar thought as well too. So that's another interesting one because with that Detroit or with that Indiana matchup, like we were saying earlier, they could definitely play with Detroit for sure. But with the way Detroit has been playing and with Cade, I think again between me and Sam, if we were drafting guys from that series, IT, write that down as an idea. We're gonna do guys from series. We'll draft players from each series. I don't know. Maybe the idea kind of explains itself as well too. But whoa, excuse me, chat. But with Cade being the better team, with the Pistons maybe having some little more, well, I don't want to say they have having more proven wins lately because again the Pacers have been playing well too. So let's just double check here on what their recent run has been. Yeah, Washington the other night. Of course, again, you gotta give them credit. Minnesota, 119 to 103. At home, shout out Halliburton with a 24-11, 3 for 7 from 3. I mean, again, he's definitely resumed form in the latter half of the season here compared to where he was at from a shooting standpoint. I mean, 47 and 38 on the season is basically where he's been at for his whole career. So, I mean, for Halliburton, that kind of is the story for his career, I guess. You know, looking at those numbers is he does kind of have halves of seasons where he'll be a streaky shooter and then, you know, a good shooter in one half, a pause in the other half of the season. But at least for this season, it seems like he's kind of timed it right. Hey, yo. But, again, he has kind of picked up the efficiency at least a little bit later here. So we just go like calendar-wise. Year to date, January 2nd was their first game of the year till now. 32 games, 24-8, 51, 43, 87 for his shooting splits, 19-9 for his scoring assist numbers. So again, the efficiency is back. He's playmaking. They are winning at an incredibly high rate. But before that, let's see. So what was that like? What was it again? Like 24-8 or something like that in that run? I guess that is kind of the halfway mark too as well. At this point in the season, the calendar is a good halfway divider for some of these teams. But to start the year, first 34 games, 16-18, 43, 34, 85 for his shooting splits, 17-8, 17.5, 8.5 for his shooting and assists. Oh, wait a second, chat. Wait. Yeah! Whoa! Sorry about that. Yikes. But, again, drastically improved and back in full Tyrese Halliburton form for the latter half of the season here. So, again, in terms of... And he's actually been a guy that has been a proven sort of all-NBA guy in the past as well. Sorry, some leg in the shot there. He's been a proven guy that's some all-NBA guy in the past. So... in some ways, you could say that he is, you know, again, a little bit more established than Cade. But Cade is also a number. So, like, what's the number one overall pick? Like, what does that earn you versus a third-team All-NBA in the legacy sort of karma player viewpoint rankings? So he can definitely be a guy that can convert the playoff series. But yeah, again, with the second half splits, definitely something to keep an eye on. So shout out to Detroit. Of course, we know that the Clippers are going to win their game. So yeah, what was the other game we were going to look at here, chat? Did it go final? Or are we just going to watch this Charlotte game? Maybe the Minnesota game. Or no, chat. I'm looking right at it. I'm looking at the score up here for the next game. It's right in front of you. The sunglasses are on my face, chat. Hey, yo. We're gonna go to Bucks versus the Knicks next. Let's see. And is Ryan Rollins only one more point since we last checked? Uh-oh. Hopefully the cap is not in that 17 to 8. Hopefully we didn't just, you know, subconsciously just like jinx him with the cap by saying the number. Oh, why is League Pass broke? There we go. Come on, League Pass. Nobody's even logged on tonight. It's March Madness night. If all the nights you got to be working, it's got to be right now. Denver versus Utah. I guess the Knicks game might be one of the ones where, you know, people are still tuning in. Big market, chat. Bridges giving you a 23-er, a 23 piece. You know, people are going to be tuning in for the Bridges performance. Oh, chat, what do we got going on here? Yikes, IT, get that out of the way. Shout out to Charles Barkley just clanking, currently just clanking jump shots in the rim. Oh, they're in the studio. There we go, chat. Gets one to go. Finally had to use the backboard. Shout out. Still, of course, the same fun energy. Gotta love the guys. Chuck, Kenny, Ernie, Kellogg. Kellogg's a good hang with the boys. I mean, Kellogg, of course, you know, shady past with his Ohio State playing days, but outside of that, chat, not a bad guy. Definitely a guy you like to root for. Josh Hart with Brooke Lopez at the top of the key. Uh-oh. Look out, Brooke Lopez. Getting Bridges switched off the attack. Oh! Lopez, he gets the hand up. Bridges maybe should have pulled up a little bit sooner there. Who knows? Either way, Lopez found himself in a good spot on the floor. The knowledge chat. Whoa! Kuzma. The smooth little midi. Do we look comfortable enough, chat? Have we now officially set the record for most slouched on a pod? I don't know. Do we have to pull up some old academics streams and see what's going on there? We may be in record-breaking territory, but chat, it's just going to be, we're just going to sink deeper and deeper. Hey, yo. Pause. But depending on what happens I guess this is like the starting point for the game, because right now the anticipation for the game is, you know, making us go down a little bit, chat. Pause. But, you know, who knows? We may win the tip, straighten back up. Maybe just the sight of Dusty May. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Pause. But the basketball excitement we're talking about, that's still kind of crazy. But either way, back to Knicks Bucks, chat. A little March Madness preview, a little March Madness detour before we get to the next game. Shout out. I guess we'll check Tennessee, Kentucky, just in case. We still have to keep an eye on it, just in case there is a comeback. Whoa! Shout out Beyonce. But I guess we know what commercial that is, chat. But where's the actual score? Oh, no, we're still looking at the same score. So with the score like this, bring the Beyonce commercial back. It is what it is. Bucks down 6. 1 minute left in the third. So we got a fourth quarter here to go, chat. Let's go. Some NBA action live on the pod. Pause. I feel like it's been a second. And I guess we did, of course, have... I guess just because the Jimmy Butler reunion game wasn't necessarily like the most dramatic game that we've seen all season, chat. Make no mistake, that game's not going to be one for the history books. So an actual competitive little NBA game live with the chat. I mean, here we go. Giannis versus Towns. Giannis versus Bridges. Giannis versus everybody. Giannis is John Wick now. It is what it is. Rollins can be good, but Rollins is a guy that's like Lawrence Fishburne. Kuzma is Lawrence Fishburne right now. Kuzma is the guy with the pigeons on the top of the roof. Ryan Rawlings is, I guess, Halle Berry, a newer character? Who knows, chat? Ryan Rawlings to Halle Berry is a great comparison. That might be the most favorable comparison that anybody's ever made for his NBA career so far. It's like, wait, why did the Remington Pod compare his NBA career to Halle Berry? It's like, well, no, Halle Berry and John Wick in the John Wick franchise. as like a newer edition, helping John Wick. Just listen to it. It might make, who knows. There's maybe a better newer edition as well too. Or he's like one of the guys in Lawrence Fishburne's crew. I always just think of the first one when I think John Wick. Shout out. I mean, the first two, of course, are iconic, and the third. I mean, they're all great, but you know, does the iconic status get diluted with each one? I mean, it's just what it is, Chad. It's just what it is. The first, not as much as they can try to replicate the quality, they can't replicate the newness of John Wick. John Wick will never be newer than the first John Wick, and that was part of the great. Hey, yo, chat. But I mean, with anything, I mean, the first time is part of the reason that it's such a great experience. Is like, oh, this new character is in our lives now. We have a new amazing action hero. Keanu Reeves is back. John Wick is back. Anyways, chat. Giannis, John Wick. Giannis, any one-man show. Any Clint Eastwood. The Mule? Oh! Whoa. But I think The Mule has like a threesome in that movie. So, again, to continue with Giannis and Clint Eastwood, I think there's some comps there. Not to project anything on Giannis. I'm not speaking for his past. I'm just saying that. I mean, with the way Giannis has displayed himself on... With the way Giannis has talked on his Instagram chat, I don't think he's adverse to some adventurous experiences, chat. But can we get like a countdown for this game? Are they going to be like honoring Charles Barkley at the beginning here? Like, how much warm up do we need? Come on, Auburn, you're the #1 team in the nation. You don't even need to warm up. Warming up just proves that you think you need to. You know, you think you're better than me? Chat, what is even the line? I can't even look. It doesn't even matter. Gale, last game for Michigan, 4 for 6 from 3. I mean, definitely a performance that you go, I mean, if they get that performance again, then they're in great shape. But again, the thing about Michigan is it's sort of can it be a guy, pause, but a different player every time, putting up a bigger performance. So it's not like you necessarily need a individual, again, to be the guy that steps up. So outside of Wolf creating well, Goldson, crashing the boards and being physical presence on the inside. But from an actual scoring standpoint, what do they need? They don't necessarily need any specific, just at least one or two. But still, it's just like, oh. Will this be the game where it dries out? Pause! And maybe this team just needed the playoff boost, chat. Maybe this is a playoff time team. Again, Dusty May is able to get... Like, Goldson has been in a Final Four. Maybe he was taking the regular season, like, not unseriously, because they were a good regular season team. But, maybe there were some games where he's not at the peak of his powers, figuring out this team a little bit. 10 minutes! 10 minutes, chat. Now's the time to actually go get the snacks. Go get the food. I mean, if you pop the Jack's Pizza in the oven now, I mean, if you, it says 10 minutes on the counter, but they're not going to count this in perfectly. It's 10 minutes away from, bringing us back in from commercial break on the start of the game. They're going to be lining up after the tip 10 minutes from now, but pause. So if the Jack's Pizza goes in the oven now, assuming, of course, you had foresight to be preheating it at this point, it'd be perfect. Perfect timing. So I guess not to just shout out any brands or anything. We don't know how to play the game right, chat. It is what it is. I mean, we already shouted out the Hy-Vees earlier, so we're just giving you our routine. Pause. It's our grocery list. I guess I'm not going to say which one we're walking into, but at least not yet. Stay tuned. We'll probably end up spoiling that information later, but it is what it is. It's Hy-Vees. It's Jack's Pizzas. These are the things that are in the rotation. If you're not eating Jack's Pizzas in a time like this, maybe the best budget food out there, chat. Jack's Pizzas. I know it might not be the healthiest option, but it is what it is. Sometimes it's all you can do. Again, and if you're shopping like some stuff that sometimes some of the canned instant stuff where you're like, oh, is this actually like, again, if we're like the nitty gritty of the health stuff, you're like, well, just have the pizzas. It's all the same. Like, just eat the pizza, Just get the pizza for the $3 and put it in the pause. I guess, again, Midwest, who knows, chat. Jack's Pizza out west might be like $12, but it's still probably, it's all just equivalent. So it's like if it's cheaper there, then it's still the cheaper option. And that's the Jack's Pizza's corner of the pod, chat. Be tuned next week. So maybe one day Jack's Pizza will sponsor. And who knows? If we get that Jack's Pizza sponsorship deal, I'm going to be looking at it being like, maybe we don't go Jack's Pizza this time. Maybe we go the next step up. I can't say that. Maybe start saying the other brands as well, too. Apparently, we're loyal to the Jack's Pizza at this point. Pause. I don't know, chat. We're not necessarily loyal to one. Tombstone, Roma, DiGiorno. Don't matter. It just tends to be those are the trashier ones, you know? The Jack's Pizzas and the Tombstones. You can get those a little bit more affordably. But there's like a couple of the... I mean, you know, you spend enough time in the freezer, in the pizza aisle of the... in the pizza section of the freezer aisle, chat, and you'll every now and again splurge on a nicer one. You'll start wandering down the nicer pizzas and... Is that a pause? Is that crazy? Hey, yo, chat. The nicer pies would be kind of crazy, but... you know, you start wandering down the aisle being like, oh, chat, do we go up a couple bucks this time and get the garlic Parmigiano rosemary chicken ordeal that... And I'm thinking of this one that I got put on to when I was back in college. And again, every now and then you just go, I guess this is it, chat. This is the time where I'm splurging. We're getting the garlic chicken whatever thing pizza. And that's the goal, chat. Again, when we get the Jack's sponsorship, we'll only be using it to build our way up to get that next one with the garlic chicken ordeal. But sometimes it's baby steps, and if Jack's Pizzas, I mean, they might be using us along the way as well too. So it might be mutual. Who's to say? But it doesn't mean we don't know what the end goal is. So, shout out. But Milwaukee, still down 8. 11 minutes left. Fourth quarter. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Staring at a 19-7-4 on the stat line. So, not necessarily in triple-double watch yet, but that 25-10, of course. 30-10. Maybe 25-10 tonight. I know 30-10, of course, for the season. Giannis, nobody will ever... This is a message to Rosillo. Rosillo, if you're listening, Cerruti, Kyle, if somebody, Wargon, hopefully it's Wargon that's listening. Shout out Wargon. But you'll never go wrong, Rosillo, voting for, I guess, he wasn't saying he did have a vote this year. So hopefully Rosillo has a vote. Shout out Rosillo. But if it's because he voted Giannis for second for MVP last year, Rosillo, I would have done the same thing. Giannis, vote him second. I guess you got to... Shea is probably in the mix. But vote him third. Tatum, get out of here. Giannis, you're third for MVP. Giannis is still the man. You're telling me that... Well, of course, Boston wouldn't trade Tatum for Giannis because they're idiots, chat. They're homeristic idiots. And they wouldn't see the smart basketball play in front of them. And they'd say some dumb thing about the years and the contracts and the playmaking ability that Tatum is playing at this year. So you combine that with his outside perimeter game and his ability for the field now to pause to let the other guys get involved a little bit as well too. Like, I mean, you say all that stuff and you just go like, okay, so what? Giannis is Giannis. Give me Giannis, chat. Pause. Do we need that shout out the OJ? Are we allowed to play OJ Simpson clips on the pod of when he was on Cam and Mace? Can we get a drop of him saying, give me some Debo? Because it definitely, the sentiment is crazy, chat, but also, I mean, we know, if there's anything relatable about OJ, we understand the, I just want that guy on my team sort of aspect to some of these players, where the irrational, this guy needs to be on my team player. So, if you call me a biased Giannis fan, then I guess you got me, chat. You figured it out. Surprise, surprise. I'm a biased Giannis fan. So I would be voting Giannis third for MVP this year. It's just what it is. Like, Tatum would be fourth. You know, I guess fifth would be... Well, you know, Do we have to look at the Cavs situation for Tatum versus? I don't know, chat. We'd have to look at the what's it called? The ballot. We'd have to look and see what our hypothetical ballot would be. But make no mistake, Giannis is third. It doesn't matter. Giannis goes as high up on the list as he possibly can every year. As long as hot take, he's putting up 30 and 10, and seems like he is still impacting the Bucks at. Again, I think he is obviously impacting the team at a championship level. He's still got this team as an upper-seeded playoff team. But they just don't quite have, of course, the supporting cast around him to provide him that last level of support. 30 and 12 this year. It's nearly a career high for his highest this decade. Not in the last 10 years, but since 2020. His highest rebounding total at 12 rebounds. So he was at 13.6 in 1920 in the COVID year, and he was the year before that 12.5 total rebounds a game. Offensively, 2.3. Defense, 9.7. So his highest defense. Oh no, he's a 11s up here in those couple of years. Offensively though, so his second highest offensive rebounding total this year. So Giannis, having to find even a better way to get extra points. And 2 years in a row that he's 60% from the field is nuts as well, too. That's just another factor. And I get that the Shea field goal percentage is awesome in the efficiency, so I'm not even, again, I guess, arguing him over Shea. Subconsciously I am, but I know that you just can't do that, chat. It is what it is. At some point, of course, you have to separate the basketball from the team success and all that stuff. And he's actually 90% from free throw as well, too. I didn't realize he'd cross that threshold as well. Shout out to Shea. But, yeah, 52% from the field this year, up to 37% from three as well. So, I guess his field goal percentage is pretty similar, but his 2-point percentage is almost the same. His 2-point percentage is higher, and his 3-point percentage is higher, but his overall field goal percentage is lower, chat. What am I missing here? Am I mathing the math right? Is it just I guess it's just percentage, right? So it's just because he's taking more shots that it somehow is not equaling out to a better season. But again, I guess if you cover up the field goal percentage column, the 3 points are up, the 2 points are up, the points are up, the free throws are up. Pause. Everything, of course, is up for Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Steals, 1.8, basically the same. But blocks, he's added that in the blocks per game category there. So again, hey, Shea, Jokic. At this point, chat, I got to be honest. If I really had a vote, I don't know. They have to submit their votes last game of the season, right? So I honestly don't know. Everybody's still kind of penciling in Shea. I get it because the Thunder and as we talked about with Sam, the case was the Thunder were back as a competitive team. They were second in the West, and they're still, up at the top of the Western Conference. But it was just a little bit of a closer, a little different conversation a little bit ago. And now the Thunder have still really emerged as that number one team. Shea feels like he is a safer MVP bet. But I mean, Jokic is still being Jokic, chat, and the Nuggets again are still kind of at the top of the Western Conference. So I'll probably get to the point where it's yeah, I guess you'll write Shea in for the MVP ballot, but I'm just not totally making up and setting it. I wouldn't be submitting it yet if there's potential early voter submission. You wouldn't find, would be using up all the games for the MVP ballot, chat, and I would see, just if we get one more Jokic 30-20 insane stat line game, then, maybe you get a free pass as a Jokic fan, and then let all the other Shea voters vote for Shea. Because I guess it's that, again, shout out to Russillo, that Russillo thing where it's if everybody does the thing that, if everybody takes the free hot sauce from the restaurant, then, not everybody can do that. Then there would be no, they would stop giving out free hot sauce. Nobody would be able to have hot sauce at the table. And I guess some restaurants, Chad, we're not a hot sauce at the table restaurant. So I guess that's a certain type of restaurant, right? The hot sauce at the table restaurant. Speaking of DoorDash, speaking of that Chili's commercial, that is a hot sauce at the table kind of restaurant. Make no mistake. But I guess if everybody voted for Jokic for MVP this year and Jokic actually did win MVP, it wouldn't be disastrous, of course. Jokic is the best player in the league. But would it actually be the right answer? I still don't see. That's the thing. I still don't know. I still don't know. And as much as, again, I want my vote to be for Jokic, I know maybe everybody, it's not the right thing if everybody does. But we'll see what the stats and stuff look like over the last 10 games. If something dramatic, like, insanely happens. But, again, from the Giannis sort of comparison standpoint, to bring him back into the conversation of it, where you have the insane efficiency with guys like Shea and Jokic to rely on in part of the stats case. Michigan at the buzzer, shot clock, not able to get it to go. Not a great first possession. We're tipped off. We're going, chat. Giannis, one of the top level few things that could be distracting enough to get us rambling at the start of this Michigan game. But great defense. I mean, I was going to say great defense. Really more of a bad shot trying to draw a foul by Baker Mazzara, who is going to be a big piece in them making a tournament run. Again, they just haven't made a run, haven't seen him in big tournament moments yet. He is a high-energy guy who can definitely swing games, and it's just a weird offensive possession to start the game, chat. Auburn, who knows how they're kind of feeling themselves. They are a team that, you know, again, as much as I love Broom as a player and his skill set, his best player, I guess this is all sketchy stuff, chat. What do we know? Just a guy eating literally spicy turkey sticks, paws on a couch. But, you know, some of the stuff, and 3-0. I'm not going to talk about it anymore, Chad. Auburn's going to run away with this. Yikes. Yikes. It is what it is, but we'll be professionals. We'll watch for a little bit. Hopefully Michigan. Come on, Dusty May. The game plan has got to be solid. So, I mean, the three-point shooter off the rebound. You just got to Donaldson against your old team. You got to know. Michigan, best Sweet 16 record in Big Ten history, apparently. 10-4. Make no mistake, that one's going straight in the trivia bank. I don't care if it's 10-5 after this. We'll just still stay. It's the best. I'm guessing they're bringing that up, knowing that it's not going to change dramatically after this game. Oh, Danny Wolf, the tough three. You're just not necessarily running up possession. You're not even giving the Auburn defense like a little bit of a test. I get it may be a scary team, but you don't want to just bail them out by taking easy shots. Now we're in our play-by-play announcer bag, chat. You can't bail the other team out by taking bad shots. You got to run a play. You got to pass the ball at least 4 times. What are we doing? Donaldson, quick trigger 3. There we go, chat. See, that was a quick trigger 3, but it was a good look off the screen, open and decisive. Like all the things you want. Not necessarily dribble at the top for 2 dribbles. But that's the type of three-pointer I take at the park. Like, I'll dribble twice and be like, oh, I guess nothing's there. Between the legs real quick, pop a 3. You're like, oh, well, you're 6 feet behind the three-point line. Your defender's probably not going to be there. So, yeah, I guess, okay. You shoot 32% on those. You're probably going to get those as well. And getting to the rim, Burnett. 5-3. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, chat. You can see we match up well from a size standpoint. The backcourt is definitely an advantage Michigan. And Golson versus Broom, he's going to be making Broom work. I mean, Broom's going to settle for a corner 3 here. Uh-oh. That's deadly, chat. That's deadly because make no mistake. Paul George bag? That's a bad shot. Not a bad shot, of course. Again, it's Broom. He's SEC Player of the Year. Anytime a guy gives you a little bit of daylight, and I don't know, what's his three-point percentage been up to this year as well, but that is a shot that, again, not a bad shot. It's a shot that you can live with more so than some other shots that Broom might take. And if he's making that, defender in his face, easy, just jab, step, lean, just barely get your guy moving, that's all it takes. What was he at here? Chat, I should know how to spell my guy's name. I'm a terrible person, chat. IT, cut this out. Sometimes you just get so excited to watch the games. 26%! And he hit that? That is a bad shot. 35% from 3 last year. Okay, yeah, the versatility is part of the reason that we liked his game. Hasn't necessarily carried over this year, but you can see the stroke is still there. Pause. It's maybe just him just, again, getting it to go. So, the Knicks up 101 to 89 versus the Bucks. Looks like they're going to stave this one off. Stave this one off? Is that the right phrase? Is stave a word? Stay it off? Stave? We'll put up a poll. See which one's right. Yeah, I guess so. They didn't update it for the All-Americans for Broom yet this year. Player of the Year this year, so they'll be adding that to the resume. Of course, in the great Janai Broom Rise chat. Shout out. The NIL, transfer portal, all this stuff, say what you want, but, I mean, this is the best case scenario of it. You get a guy, great run at Morehead State, couple years. I mean, it transfers over as a sophomore as well, too. That's not too bad. 3 years at Auburn, stays, doesn't go, like, commits to the school. Like, that's what you want to... Like, the problem with college basketball, at the end of the day, is not transferring. The problem is commitment. And I guess, you know, they kind of go hand in hand. But, you know, again, Broom used the transfer portal to up his career, but not that you want everybody to stay, again, and be fifth-year seniors. But, IT, get this Chili's commercial out of here. This is too tempting. The to-go containers? What are we doing? What are we doing? But is it unlimited chips? I know that's how they get you, chat, but it doesn't matter. Unlimited anything. Count me in. Tomorrow night, anybody in the chat want to go to... I mean, you'll find me at a Chili's, chat. You'll just find me at a Chili's if you want to just watch some tournament games live. The three and me will be spread out in front of... Will it be a table? I won't grab a table. I'm a good guy. I don't go into a restaurant as a person of one, grab a table. What are we doing here, chat? What are we doing? So I'll have it spread out in front of the TVs. Let's go. Trying to make my money back. I was talking to Champ about that the other day because we went out to this one place and we didn't even like we weren't even going there for this intentionally, but we stumbled into this place. It was a Thursday night and they had unlimited wings on a Thursday night. So make no mistake, we might have to. I see what is going on with that again, chat. That is crazy. It's like it's one of those like time period things as well too. It's like a little like late nighter type thing. I guess not like late night, but like it was like 6 to 9, 6 to 10 maybe. Something like that. So, and again, this is not like a full-on restaurant. It's more like bar food type setting. So, again, you know, you get a guy that'll get in there and definitely wipe out some chicken wings for sure. But not the worst thing in the world. He's probably gonna spend his money in the other places again where you want him to. But we were talking about just he was getting them and he was making his money back, chat. But I was telling him that I always want to like try to get to go to these places and make my money back, but. I mean, you guys can see. I mean, we have video proof. I'm not making my money back necessarily at any of these all-you-can-eat or unlimited place type deals. So maybe I need to go back and at least try, attempt one. Do we need to do like a Rem and Sam all-you-can-eat volume 1? We can't do a competition again because I'm not going to win no eating competitions. Pause. At least not with the chicken wings, chat. But in a food competition. I'm screwed, but if it's just see what happens, see how long pause, but you know, see how far you can make it, chat. Who knows? I guess now we're just stealing House Eats 3 or whatever, but hey, it's been long enough. Pause. Reboot it. Hollywood? I mean, we're just copying Hollywood at that point, just rebooting. We're just rebooting House Eats. That's all it is. That's the way you do. That's how you make things. Now you need IP, so we got the IP. We got House Eats. Okay, 5 to 9, chat. Is it time to sit up? Time to lock in? I don't know. They've almost got us doubled up, so signs of things to come. Hopefully not. Dusty May's got the sort of... There's that look that the coach gets. Patino had that look in the game against Arkansas where he's like, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. And Dusty May's just kind of got the scanning look, kind of like, okay, this is how we're playing. So 6 to 9, about to be 7 or 9 here. We're not in the worst place in the world, but just a calm, cool, and collected demeanor from our guy. At least I don't know why that should make us nervous, chat, but it's just something to monitor, anyways. It's not nerves, just a situation to at least keep an eye on. But Auburn turnover, Michigan in transition, chat. It's Wolf taking it the other way. So Michigan, I don't know what the transition numbers are on the season, but with Broom and this Auburn team, it might seem like they are more of a half-court team. And Michigan can get out and play fast like that. Wolf is really good in those transition and semi-transitions. I mean, he's just a good playmaker, chap, but he does specialize that in that as well, too, where, I mean, you see Broom scoring right now, Chad. He is getting his buckets. But again, Wolf's a different kind of 7-footer. Built different. Oh, Burnett, the 3. It's a tough 3. We need him, chat, but we need to be efficient. We don't need to be just taking them. That's the Greg Popovich rule, chat, at least back in the day. Wolf taking Broom into the post. I mean, Wolf versus Broom is the matchup of the day. Wolf versus Broom is not necessarily, you could say, like a player of the year matchup, but well, Wolf's an all Big Ten guy, an all conference guy. Oh, we're sitting up, chat. 11-11. Leaning forward, we're locking in. That Wolf versus Broom score got us competitively back in it. Our best player versus their best player. He's gotten a couple of baskets here. Shaking him off, chat. The spin move, yeah! Cook him, Broom. Sorry, but it's just for the one game. It's what it is. You should have transferred to the Big Blue. Sorry to steal Russell Wilson's catchphrase. Now I guess that the Giants are Big Blue, but we know who the real Big Blue is, chat. Shout out. Okay, Donaldson back in. I always feel more calm when Donaldson's on the court. His clutch veteran experience. Bucks down 12. Giannis 23, 7 and 7. He is in triple-double watch. 2.5 left. Is he going to get 3 more assists in 2.5 minutes? I mean, I guess the Bucks would hope he does. AJ Green fires off some threes here real fast. There's a chance. So Baker Mazzara, a little over dribbling here to start. And to be honest, of course, as you would expect, Broom is their best offense. So, oh, the box out, chat. Broom up again. He worked around the box out to get the rebound that time. I mean, where's the NBA? I mean, chat. The NBA stock. The NBA guy's got to be looking now. What's going on? This run is going to turn to some 31 as of right now. So Tankathon's got him 31. I mean, Cam Jones, chat. What are we doing? Condon? You're going to take Condon over Broom? What are we doing here? What are we doing? Derek Queen? Even a guy like Derek Queen, if we're just looking at the attributes that Queen would provide. Again, maybe a little bit of a younger player as well, too. Let's see. Is Queen like a true freshman? He might actually be. Oh, let's see. Yeah, he is, chat. Shout out. And what was he in high school? Number 14 overall recruit as well, too. So he's a pedigree guy that had a great season, very impactful tournament run in a big moment, and showed a lot of skills that will definitely make him a coveted pick. But again, Broom, just what you're getting. Again, in the moment, the projecting, I get it with the seniors and the freshmen and all that stuff. But I'm just being competitive for one of the guys that we have a lot of stock in anyways. So shout out. I guess Bucks versus Knicks is probably at a close at this point. 1:43 left. Bucks up still, or Bucks down 12 still. Not able to really make it more interesting than that. So I guess back to college is the other. Purdue versus Houston is not quite going yet, but Tennessee goes final with Tennessee up over 13. So Mark Pope at least stays in a kind of interesting range for that Sweet 16 elimination, but ultimately not able to advance farther than, his counterpart this year, Coach Cal. So either way, though, I think Kentucky, you're not feeling too bad about your new replacement and your new era going forward for college basketball. And again, Rick Barnes, this Tennessee team, pretty good this year. Maybe they're just a Final Four team, and it is what it is. But Broom now swatting Golden, stripping the ball as he was going up for the pump fake, trying to work him in the post. So he's going to take over both ends. I mean, we were talking about, again, the scenarios beforehand. The other scenario where Auburn wins and Broom is just, awesome, like we were saying, in 30 for 10. It's not something that we're going to be totally thrilled about, but it's respect. We understand his talent. We will respect his performance. It's maybe the madness won't be there. The madness and the upsetness won't be there. Because, again, better team, better player, having an all-time game. You just go, greatness is greatness, chat, and this time we were on the wrong side of it, and it's unfortunate. But Golden, there we go. The pump fake. Get him on his feet. Broom, he's feeling good. He's antsy. He's trying to make plays. Just stay patient. Stay down. And the guards for Auburn, chat, just jacking up threes. They're not even running much of an offense. Bruce Pearl. I mean, what are the plays? Oh! Absolutely swallowed up on the other end. Yikes. Pause. Hey, yo! Whoa. But the block in transition by number 0. Who is this, chat? Oh, wow. You hate to see it. Second in Div 1 in blocks per game as well. I didn't realize Auburn in that particular stat had that good of a season. But there you go. The length, the defense flying around right away. So Wolf, if he gets the matchups, he's got to take advantage. But same with Golden going baseline. Foul on the floor, chat. He was bordering almost out of bounds there for a second, but we'll take the foul. First time out of the game, and it's tied, chat. We can't be mad. We can't be mad. Obviously, we were sort of spiraling out of control, getting our hopes out of control for, or getting ourselves prepared anyways for a potential Auburn dominant victory. But like we said time and time again, this team is a team of 4 minutes, chat. This is a team that plays between the timeouts. You just got to take it a section of the game at a time. And the first section of the game, at least it doesn't get out of hand, and we're still right there with them. So again, Broom is playing well. His defense, 2 for 9 from 3 for Auburn is not necessarily great in those first, and I guess not first 4 minutes, chat, but you get what we're saying. In the 4-minute stretches of the game, they're still managed to staying with them there. And 2 for 9 is not great. Maybe they turn that around. So if you're a Michigan fan, it's like, keep an eye on that. But other than that, chat, this is not bad. This is not bad. The matchup seems to be good. And Michigan State is tough as well, too, because, again, with the depth and with the guard play of a guy like Jace Richardson, they can sort of counter maybe something that, at least in the regular season anyways, like we were saying, was a little up and down. But the guard play has definitely been more consistent as well, too, in the tournaments that they have played as of late. So even a game against Michigan State, with the way we're playing right now, if we continue to look good in this Auburn game, obviously if we win the Auburn game, but, I'd be really much more favorable of that matchup than maybe I was or would have been at a point in this season, chat. And just at any point, if your team's making a run and playing well, you're obviously going to be feeling much better and feeling pretty good about it. But as a rivalry team, as Izzo, as the proven guy against the new coach, like there's so many factors. So again, as much as we trust Dusty May, it's still like that is Tom Izzo on the other side over there, chat. You still got to pay respect to Tom Izzo. Again, like, Bruce Pearl is not just rich with tournament success, history, and banners, chat, but still an established guy, still a great coach, still a guy that has done and accomplished a lot of things. And you just go, okay, he still knows, but he knows what he's doing. And not that Dusty May doesn't know what he's doing, but what's the game where it's like, oh, this is the one where I have to figure it out still. Maybe he's got it locked in and this is the run, chat. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I just don't know yet. It's his first year with the team. He's got him overachieving. He's got us in a mix to be competing with the number 1 team in the tournament in terms of the power rankings. Again, maybe Duke and Florida were that on the actual basketball court. But in terms of the power rankings, Auburn number 1 overall in the bracket. And we're tied with them halfway through the first half, chat. Bruce Pearl looking a little happy about it. He's definitely been doing a big media tour and definitely, he was in the studio doing interviews and stuff the other day, him and Broom. That was definitely a good sign. Maybe Michigan was just there at a different time and I didn't see that part, but it's like, okay, they're definitely doing the tour at this point in the Sweet 16. They're kind of taking the victory lap for the season. And Broom as well, too. You got to take the victory lap being the player of the year. Like, it is a victory lap worthy moment, but I'm just saying, you're also the 1 seed trying to get redemption for last year, and win a national title as well, too. I don't think Auburn basketball has won a national title, Chad. At least not in a long time, of course. And I'm not remembering one off the top of my head if it is the case. Maybe the women won a title, national title. And I wouldn't be able to recall as well, too, like how many Final Four. I guess the Final Four that I can that they were in was with Bryce Brown there in that Virginia game. Yeah, lost that national semifinal, but never actually won the tournament. So, yeah, not even like a great tournament history, of course, for the entirety of the team. Really, Bruce Pearl, chat. This Auburn run, the most success Auburn has had in the history of the school. One Final Four was that last year. 14 tournament appearances. Yikes. Have the Auburn ladies been any better? Charles Barkley's like such a crazy, just outsider piece of history for what this Auburn basketball history should have been, Chad. Their team this year, 12-18, not necessarily on par with what the men have been able to do, but 3 Final Fours in their history and 22 NCAA tournament appearances. So, yes, they have been a more successful team over the course, and definitely in the beginning of the team as well, too. Joe Chiampi taking this team, chat, and had a great run here in the mid to late 80s where they are in the national final 3 years in a row, regional final the year before that. So definitely a little more legacy with the ladies team. But yeah, definitely have a chance this year, of course, to really accomplish something that's never been accomplished before in Auburn history, and to be a legacy school for this team in a different way. Like we're saying, Broome, definitely he is already connected to Auburn, already kind of an Auburn guy, but still becomes one of the great Auburn athletes at that point. Becomes, you know, again, like how many national titles do they have in general? They have the Cam Newton title. It's not like they have a ton of football titles in there. So he becomes one of those few guys that we're talking about in the Auburn pantheon, and really special. But yeah, like we're saying, we just don't know what Dusty May and this Michigan team is capable of yet in their first year. What is the upset potential? But then again, he does have that tournament experience. We know I guess we know he's capable of a Final Four run, Chad. Been there with Florida Atlantic. Wolf for 3, chat. Danny Wolf from the outside. I don't know if he's necessarily getting good shots right now, but his efficiency is staying above water. He's 3 for 6. He's 1 for 2. He's just saying, I'm open. I'm not going to get a good look. I'm going to take it. And I guess we're being judgmental as well, too. He did have that move on Broome as well earlier, where he took him in the post. So it's a mixed bag for Danny Wolf. He's got a collection. It's a variety. Not everything is going to be the most brilliant move in the world. Oh, getting bumped off on the defense, chat. And I know he might not necessarily get labeled as a defender, but in the NBA, like, the man is moving his feet. He stays in front. He's going to have some issue with the lateral quickness and maybe some of the balance as well, too. Like, he does get... He absorbs contact very well, but he does get bounced around a little bit. Like, he'll definitely be allowed to create space against, if that makes sense, when contact is initiated. But I think he'll be able to be a solid NBA defender. He'll at least compete. Like, with who's the Bogdanovich that was in Brooklyn and in New York and in Detroit, and not the one that Sam likes on Atlanta, the other one. Is that Bojan? Bogdan Bogdanovich is the one in Atlanta, and Bojan Bogdanovich is the one that was in the New Yorks. So, I mean, he's a little like 7-foot Bogdanovich. Is that the comp this time, chat? But defensively, I mean, a 7-foot Bogdanovich is not... It's a guy that can be a starter, a guy that can hold up in the league. Okay, chat. 20-19. Corner 3 by Michigan, not able to get it to go. But the defense and Auburn's pace of play makes me think that, oh, in that time the stop and go really works. I mean, it's going to have to be those kind of funky possessions, I think, that get them the scores, or Broome, because in the half court with their guards and wings, they're just not generating much. I mean, Baker Mazzara is over dribbling. There's kind of a weave action going on, but nothing too crazy. And at least Michigan has the bigs and the size where they can drive, and they know what their game plan is. There's at least an identity here on offense. Auburn's at least freeing a little bit, but the rebounding is helping them as well, too. So, again, that number 0 getting stuck in the post. And Auburn with a tough just end of shot clock 3. There was nothing going on in that offensive possession. Just spinning around in the paint. Pettiford. Tahad Pettiford. Ooh, that was a very clean stop and go. We got to give it up to him, chat. We got to give credit where credit is due. He did definitely make a highlight play against our team. It is what it is. But halftime is 7 minutes, chat. Snack time, food time. I'm counting down. I got a countdown clock. I'm not going to lie. Shout out, chat. We always have fun. I love jumping on and watching hoops with the chat. And it's always a great time. But, hey, the hangriness is there, chat. It is what it is. It is what it is. Michigan is got the competitiveness going. I don't know if we need to be in a Joey Chestnut bag right now with just competitive eating and while watching competitive basketball, but something about it. I mean, it makes sense, chat, for sports food. So really what this is a wake-up call to have this place better stocked, because I mean, it seems like we're kind of in a house vibe here, but this is a kind of a remote we're in a deep remote location off in the jungle, chat, so we're gonna have to get our supplies shipped in here and really get it stocked up. But we'll have them ship in like a mini fridge in this location, and I don't think maybe we get a mini. I guess we don't need a mini fridge. We can always stock with different things as well too. Non-fridgeable items. Okay, chat. Refrigeration corner, stocking corner, snack counter corner. And that's a better title for it. Snack counter corner, maybe. IT. Put it in Chat GPT. See what comes up. But I guess that's another thing. DM us at Rem and Sam. What are your best sort of, again, office space, like snack stocking type things, or things you take with you to the office space type thing? Because, again, like work from home or like a in-home office where you're going to wander into a kitchen and just have the amenities of the kitchen at your disposal. Like, that's a totally different thing. But this location is separate. I need to make sure that I have my snacks, my drinks, my couple of things on location just in case, like we're saying, chat, just in case their hangriness sets in. And it just becomes one of those things. The meal, you didn't quite get the meal you wanted, didn't quite, lunch didn't hit the schedule the same way it usually does, and now, we're running behind, and now you need the snacks. Or, again, the midday pick-me-up. You need the midday vibes. Maybe you just need to get it stocked up at your office. But let us know, DM us at Rem and Sam. What are you guys stocking in your office, your workspaces as well too? Like, again, the restaurant, host stand behind a bar, server's station, like things that you're taking with you. Again, depending on the workplace, it can be restrictive in terms of, again, not what they're allowing you, but just what your accommodations are for what you can bring. It's going to vary, but we're definitely, obviously, we could get a mini fridge. There's mini fridge capabilities. This room is equipped to handle a mini fridge, so that's not a question. I don't know if it's a full-on like microwave. I don't know if we get into a hot plate situation, chat. That'd be crazy. Imagine. I kind of hated the idea of that, but now that sounds, I mean, again, the ideas you get when you're hungry, maybe food segments on the pod are not always going to sound great first rough draft, again, as the stomach's rumbling. But if we were just like randomly whipping up a quesadilla just in the middle of the pod, like that could be kind of fun. I don't know. Basketball and the sizzling of a quesadilla ASMR. If the Rem and Sam pod isn't already enough good vibes, chat, I mean, that might, what are we going to do, get a dog next? I mean, that might just push it over the top, to be honest. So, I don't know, we'll workshop the ideas. Rem and Sam all of a sudden going to become a kitchen set, a cooking show, and a basketball show. The Rem and Sam show is unstoppable, chat. You never know what you're going to get with the Rem and Sam pod. You got to stay tuned. You got to subscribe. And you just got to constantly check in every now and then and see what the Rem and Sam pod is up to. But Purdue, they're up 2-0. Hey, we got there, chat. We got there. The game just started. 2 minutes into the game. So Calvin Sampson and Houston, another team. The second they go down 2-0 in a Sweet 16 game, you go, oh, deja vu. This seems familiar. Is Houston any good at all? Like, what happened in the entire regular season? Does it mean anything? But Again, it's only 2 points. We got to give them a chance, chat. We got to give the number 1 seed in the bracket a chance. But Purdue... So we could get a 4 seed and a 5 seed, again, advancing in opposite brackets. A 5 and a 2 versus a 4 and a 2. Like we're saying, that's not necessarily the all of the best of college basketball has to offer. There's still teams there. I mean, you're going to be able to look at everybody's lineups and go, oh, this person started at this college and whatever, and there's transfers. I get it. I'm just saying that I think the continuity will still be able to be there in a way, and I think that you'll still see a similar cycle of upsets. You'll still see mid-majors. You'll still see the whole scale of college basketball. It'll just be, of course, shifted into a different thing. And that's the brilliant analysis of the Rim and Sam pod. But Auburn driving to the rim again, golden challenges. So the guards are sorry, not golden. The other center was in on that time. Giving it, is that, how do you say his last name, Chad? Tisher? I can never say it right. Shedder? I feel like I have to see it. It might be Shedder. But, what was I saying about Auburn? Yeah, their guards, chat, have been really doing a great job on those second chances rebounding, as well too as the bigs. But there's been a couple times where they've like really flown in on some crazy drives, and it seems like they're able to pop right back up and get that put back to go. Oh, Broom fires a pass underneath and just a little bit off. Can we get a replay on that? Are we plugged into the truck over there? Can they hear us? Can we get a replay on that, please? 3, 2, 1. Because I want to know if that was... Because that was a really good look by Broom. Good cut. Saw the look. Got the pass behind the defender. But just off the fingertips. And maybe fired it in a little bit too strong. But Michigan turns it over right away. Not able to take advantage. Back down the other way. Auburn 23-24. Michigan only up by 1 now. 5:45 left in the second half. First half, sorry. Whoa! Would be nice. A 24-23 game. I mean, it would have been boring watch, chat, but I'll take up by 1. Is this Michigan-Auburn in the 60s? What's going on here? As we slowly pull our hair out over the course of the half. Oh, Burnett cans the 3. The floor spacing. I think Michigan might be the better three-point shooting team tonight, chat. If that is the case, they're 3 for 14. We're 3 for 8. So same amount of makes, but again, the efficiency is there, and they're still getting some rebounds off of those, which helps. But oh, Izzo's right back out watching the game behind the Michigan bench. Oh, chat, that's scary. That's a good sign for Michigan. Maybe that means he thinks Michigan's going to win, but is he just going to hear everything that Michigan says? He's literally just sitting right behind us. He's right behind the assistant. Oh, met at the rim. Great defense. Barely got that block, but the transition is stuffed out until they leave the ball handler like the 7-8 foot range, and then he just misses the floater. So another missed opportunity by Michigan. Couple of stalled defensive possessions. Houston back up 5-0. So yeah, give him a chance, chat. Give him a chance. Oh, what's going on back here? Is this nervous hair, chat? The hair is starting to fall out. You can slowly see it. It is what it is. It's that time of life. Plus, you know, with this type of college basketball run, you just never know. Broom's in transition. What just happened? Broom with a block, spinning, and 1. Oh, offensive foul. Get out of here, Broom. That's a foul. Oh, Baker Mazzara blocked Donaldson on a 3. Yikes. He's going to make a couple of those wild energy plays a game. Fortunately, it's a play that can be a momentum swinging play, but Teschner on the other end, chat. Setting the screen. Getting the charge. So turnovers are really their biggest... Well, Donaldson throws it out of bounds. So as much as we were hyping up Donaldson, he has been a little... he had that 3 earlier, but he's been a little iffy right now, if you could say that. 5 turnovers early on here, 7 or 8, I think, for Auburn at this stage as well. So we're in the closing block of the first half here. 4 minutes left, chat. Michigan up 4. So again, they've even managed to grow their up. Well, Baker Mazzara gets to go. He's going to be a swing guy. Because he's going to either take and shoot this team out of the game, or he's going to be Ron Artest, and Broom's going to pass to him in the biggest moment of the game, and he's going to get the bucket and get the winner to go. And he's going to be another guy. But maybe that helps us as well, too. Like, I have stock in Baker Mazzara, but again, Broom is our main mistress piece, chat. Pause. Maybe if Baker Mazzara is able to make the impactful winning plays, it'll soften the blow for Broom. Pause. But it'll make the Auburn thing worse because, like, well, now we didn't get beaten by their best player, you know? It is what it is. But here we go, chat. Last couple of minutes of the first half, with Michigan a chance to potentially close and potentially grow this lead to something special. Because 2 points second half, like, Broom did show that I think he can go into his bag a little bit and get a bucket when he needs to. And they didn't quite send, like, the doubles at him yet and haven't quite, you know, fully gone that whole defensive route. Like, the whole Broom versus Dusty May chess piece of it will get unlocked in the second half. But again, his playmaking, high post stuff, and just taking advantage of the one-on-one opportunities has been able to keep him in the game so far. So shout out to Broom. His feel for the game, you can see it, chat. I think that is going to be, again, another just, of course, additive thing. That, oh, wow, chat. Sorry to just interrupt ourselves in the middle of the thought, but Accountant 2 is Ben Affleck with John Bernthal? Whoa! Have Affleck and Bernthal been in a movie together? Am I crazy for not knowing if they have? And in, like, a major way, there's no way. I mean, of course, they've both been in Daredevil properties, but speaking of Daredevil, of course, right now on Disney Plus as well, too, but that sounded just like a promo, chat. Disney, did we have to bill Disney for that? We might. But in terms of them acting together, I mean, is this the Pacino? The Pacino De Niro of our time, chat? We call it Pacino for short, but Pacino De Niro of our time. Ben Affleck and John Bernthal and The Accountant 2? It just might be. That's going to be crazy. But, yeah, again, I forget what we were saying there about John Bernthal. Anytime he's going to be in a trailer, that's definitely going to take, up there in the priority rankings. John Bernthal vehicles, that's for sure. But, yeah, Baker Mazzara, Broom, that whole chess piece, and that whole chess match, I guess, is still going to be unlocked a little bit later in the game. When they send Wolf and they double and just take him out of the game, and then all of a sudden it's Baker, like we're saying, Baker Mazzara in the corner, Ron Artest style. Those are the moments that sometimes decides the championship. Sometimes it's the great players. Sometimes Jordan gets to cross over Byron Russell and get the game-winning shot. And sometimes he has to pass to Steve Kerr. And sometimes he has to hit a shot over Craig Elo. I think we're going in reverse order there, but regardless. For a guy like me, sometimes that's the way you remember it. In reverse order. Going backwards. Bruce Pearl, he's definitely getting locked in. He's nipping out now. So, you know that either it's a little cold in the arena or the coaching intensity is at an all-time high. Oh, and thank goodness Danny Wolf is 7 foot. They just showed his family, and his family's like 5'2" all the way around. So I don't know what happened. I get a little, I don't want to know if we want to start stirring up some Danny Wolf family controversy chat. He's also blonde. His brother's got hair that looks like mine. I don't know what's going on here. I guess we have it on low TV. Are they explaining the Danny Wolf family history right now? They might be. But maybe it doesn't need explained. Because there's something sketchy going on there. Regardless, maybe just leave it a mystery. He's a 7-foot-tall playmaker that has got Michigan up 2 with 3.5 minutes left in the first half versus the #1 team in the nation. And Golden now on Broom. Broom loses it, chat. The post defense standing his ground. Oh, who is that? That wasn't Broom, but somebody takes us in the post and ties this game. Johnson? C. Johnson? Hits his first bucket to turn around. Is this the random heat check guy that I'm going to get super annoyed with? And he's going to go on my hate list for the future. It's like, who's C. Johnson that checked in and just went 4 for 4 to end the half? But there we go. The Auburn defense as well, too. I forget where they ranked on the year in defense. But maybe it wasn't actually... Well, I don't know if it was, of course, a strong suit. But I don't remember if it was like a weakness. Were they out of the top 75? Were they out of the tournament rankings for defense? They were 71, so they just were sneaking in there. Pause. So, of course, the offense is the dominance of the team. Broom carries the team. But they are an active defensive team. They will get blocks. They will get some stops. And they are not necessarily a susceptible team. But, oh, Broom just clanks it off the front of the free throw rim right there. Down 2. 2.5. No high fives from the guys. Yikes. 10 times for... Whoa, whoa, whoa. 10 times for Auburn fans. Deep breath from our guy Broom. The weight of the run, Chad. Hopefully it doesn't crush him. That's the problem as well, too. You get a guy like Broom who is playing with the pressure. I mean, look, his parents right now are just absolutely stone-faced. Just like, oh, man, this is not good. Hopefully this turns out well for our boy. But you get a team like this, of course, that's playing with the expectations, playing with the pressure. Michigan's got nothing to lose. I'm sure Dusty May has preached that to this team as well, too. Hey, just go out there and stay comfortable, stay relaxed, because for us, it doesn't mean anything. For Auburn, it means something. They need a national title this year. We're a 5 seed. Oh! Another, and I believe these passes now are on the receivers, because that's another drop out of bounds by Auburn. In transition, it was not Broom this time playmaking. It was, what's that guy's name again? Oh, jeez. Pettiford? It was Pettiford in transition. Driving. I guess chat, we're right here. We can literally look. Yeah, Tad Pettiford. Driving in transition. Another just behind the... Like, literally, like, leading him behind, like, the safety almost is what it looks like. Like, these Michigan defenders look like linebackers, and these Auburn players are dropping in these passes behind him, and still they're not able to catch him. So, hey, we'll take it, Chad. We'll take it. Pause. But just another sort of, hey, keep an eye on that if they get a couple of those to go. And they give the tie-up possession to Auburn. Thought Michigan kind of got the timeout there, but Dusty May's not going to fight it too much. Ah! Sorry, chat. Pettiford again, giving it up this time and not able to get it to go. So Pettiford is right there with Brooma's impact. Oh, chat! Who is that number 2 that rims out for 3? Denver Jones! Whoa! Is that a country singer? Denver Jones? Denver... Oh, I was going to start singing the lyrics for Country Road, but that's going to sound like a pause, so let's not go there. But, anyways, Denver Jones. I guess John Denver would be the better way to just make the joke there, Chad. But both teams have gotten stalled out on offense here. Michigan up by 1. Is that a foul on Auburn? Is that Broom? Because the tie-up goes back to us as well, too. So, yeah, they get Broom on another foul. So, how many fouls? That's at least 2 in the last couple of minutes here for Broom. Is he at 3 for the game? And there's enough time left in the half. You don't... Okay. 2 fouls for the game. So, he'll go into the second half with 3 fouls here if you sub him out now. Which, let's see if they do. Ooh, Golden misses the first free throw. Definitely is going to help that decision. Broom and Baker Mazzara, both their, both impact players, both high level of their higher level guys. In pseudo foul trouble, kind of early on. Wolf goes to the bench with 57 seconds left in the half. Oh, and Golden misses them both. That's a big opportunity. Now Auburn has a chance to take the lead into halftime, chat. And still a half where even if Auburn wins this half, I'm not... And Michigan's played good in second halves, chat. Michigan has played good in the second half of some of these games. Broom gets the tip in 30-29. So it's not like I'm not going to be confident in our guys to potentially close out the win here. But it's just the mental aspect, of course, of fighting the way they have and then Auburn still managing to get the win going into half. could be crazy. But we're going to get one more shot here, as there's about a 2.5 second difference, 15 to 11 on the shot. I guess that was like 4 second difference, but shot clock running down, game clock running down as well too. Donaldson just needs to make a decision. The late pass to Golden. Golden does get a decent look at the rim, but not able to get it to go. And Auburn takes a 1-point lead into half, chat. So that's not a good sign. Not a good sign. But our guys competed. We made Broome work. Again, Baker, Mazer, all the guys. You know, the field goal percentages were low both ways, 35 to 32. Luckily, we're just a little bit more efficient from three-pointer as well. But 29 first-half rebounds for Auburn. They are putting in work on the glass, chat. Broome with a double-double in the first half. Whoa, I didn't even realize our guy was at a 10 and 11. That's crazy. So this could, I mean, speaking of Jokic, chat, could we be in for a 20 and 20 Broome game? Whoa. 29 is wild, chat. So, yeah, 11 offensively. I mean, if Michigan it's the thing, if Michigan cleans that up, then we'll be in good shape if we can keep our defense like this and keep the pace of the game like this. But Auburn, if they can get out a little bit and get a little more of their scoring going, then they'll be in good shape for the second half as well too. And Houston up by 3. Let's check in on this real quick and see how. Because I like Cryer. I'd like to see Cryer in the Final Four. Oh, 0 for 4. Speaking of Final Four, Cryer's Final Four shots before they send him to the bench. Yikes. Yeah, hopefully he's not a reason why maybe Houston would have a shorter run in this year. So we'll just not jinx them and keep moving it. And whoa. Keep it moving. Either way now, it's both are crazy. It doesn't matter at this point. We'll just move on. That kind of works. But regardless, chat, like I said, unfortunately, it's just one of those games, or one of those days. We're just going to have to dip out early and get some food, get some grub, chat. It's just what it is. So Grubhub, DoorDash, no, we'll just have to go see what's in the fridge that we can whip up. But, oh, yes, hey, there you go. Nightly plans, chat. See what's going on for the second half. But we'll be back. We'll be back this weekend, of course. We'll be back this weekend. We'll be back Sunday. We'll be watching games. There'll be Elite Eight games. Hopefully Michigan is one of those games, chat. But we will see what happens in the second half. So we'll be here, of course, on the YouTube page, like I said, Sunday. We will be on the social feeds. We'll be on the podcast feeds as well, too. So stay glued to those and pay attention to what is going on as well. But good luck to our boys in blue. Good luck to the Michigan fans in the chat. Good luck to Charles Barkley, all the other Auburn fans. No good luck as of right now. But, yeah, we'll be back later, chat. Thanks for jumping on tonight.